This is Atomic Shinobi and today I'm going to narrate first part of what if Naruto became a devil in the land of waves. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Not wasting no time, let's start the story.
She shunshined away as Haku said softly, "Sorry, Naruto, but I can't die yet." As he attempted to capture her, Naruto remarked, "No, you can't die, Haku, it won't solve anything. Do you want to save her?" A voice called out to him abruptly. Naruto turned to look for the voice and replied, "Yes, more than anything, I won't let her die needlessly." Naruto yelled, "I don't care if I am a devil or demon, I will protect my friends." "That is my Nindo," the voice said, "then take your first step forward, but are you sure that you want this? You will be changed into a half devil if you accept this power." Naruto stepped forward into the light, and his right arm began to burn slightly. "My original jutsu. Reikari, this is the end for you, Zabuza Momochi," exclaimed Kakashi, to which the Jonin replied. A blur passed in front of him as he charged toward the man. "The girl, she gonna, damn it, I can't stop in time," he was thinking. Haku and Kakashi were separated by a familiar orange blur, and then he reached for the Reikari with his right hand. "Naruto!" exclaimed Kakashi. Naruto briefly glanced up at Kakashi, who gasped when he noticed that Naruto's eyes had briefly turned cyan blue. Then, to get Haku out of the way, Naruto gave her a roundhouse kick and pushed Kakashi with a palm strike to the chest. Zabuza grabbed his sword and slashed at the teenager, but Naruto's deformed arm immediately stopped the blade. Naruto told him without glancing at him, "The battle's over, Zabuza, it is over, we're done." Naruto, Kakashi, Zabuza, and Haku turned to see Gato with a sizable gang of thugs behind him. "He's right, Zabuza. I'm so disappointed in you," a voice said, "but, oh well, I have no further use for you." With his cane, Gato gestured toward them, saying, "I will kill you, the ninjas, and probably use those bitches of yours for entertainment. I speak for Zabuza and everyone else here, your ass will be dead in 10 minutes, Naruto said, grabbing the Zanbatsu in his right arm and pointing at Gato. "Wait, Naruto," Kakashi began to say, but the teenager charged at the thugs and started cleaving through the crowd. What is this aura, this boy, he's like the devil incarnate," Zabuza thought in disbelief as both Jonin watched in amazement and shock as Naruto used the Zanbatsu skillfully and destroyed nearly half of the horde in a matter of minutes while grinning. A short while later, Naruto was approaching Gato menacingly. "Please," the tyrant whimpered, "I give you money." Naruto thought for a second and replied, "Why not? Okay, please provide your account number." When Naruto cracked his shoulder and said, "Your real account number, Gato," Gato hurriedly began writing down. He then wrote down the right number and handed it to the teenager. "Thank you," Naruto said with a sickly smile, which terrified Gato to his very core. The little midget then screamed to his death after the Jinchuriki kicked him off the bridge. "Sorry, but I can't let a coward rule over people's lives by using fear." He was about to leave the carnage when an arrow fell in front of him. "You're late, Inari." Naruto grinned. One of the perks of being a hero is fashionably late, Inari said with a sly smile. "Hey, yeah, that's true." Naruto placed Kabikari Hucho on his shoulder and said, "So, Zabuza, will you guys come to Konoha with us?" before turning to face Zabuza and giving him the Zanbatsu. "You must be worn out from running, and even though you keep it to yourself, you feel more for Haku like a daughter than a tool." "That's true, I feel like a father figure to her," Zabuza said, glancing at the unconscious Haku. "But I have a reputation to maintain. So, we'll be there." "Great, and oh, Tazuna. GG.san. Here is Gato's account number," Naruto grinned. "There is undoubtedly enough money to fund the mission and restore the village to its former splendor." "Thank you, all of you, for what you have done," Tazuna said with a bow. After a week, Kakashi remarked, "Well, we will be off then." The boy was on the verge of tears when Naruto turned to face him. "Hey, don't worry, Inari. When you're happy, it's acceptable to cry happy tears," the Jinchuriki said. Inari replied, "I'm not crying, but if you want to cry, you can cry. Naruto.ni.san. "There's no chance, Inari," Naruto said with a smile. "I swear that I will come see you sometime." Inari started crying as Team 7, Zabuza, and Haku started to walk away. Sakura briefly glanced at Naruto and noticed a single tear streaming down his cheek. "That boy has rekindled the fire in Inari's heart, which has stoked the people's hope," Tazuna wisely remarked. "By naming this bridge the Great Naruto Bridge, we will never forget him." With a little giggle, Tsunami remarked, "That is a nice name, 2.san. Join Naruto Uzumaki, the descendant of Sparta, and read about his accomplishments, attitude, power, and newfound love. This was the beginning of his new life. His heritage had finally been awakened. However, what does fate have in store for our new and improved Naruto? His destiny is to protect the world from the destruction of corrupted humans and greedy devils. Graveyard. After Naruto and his companions briefly rested close to a graveyard, a voice started to nag at his thoughts. "Master, is that you?" The voice spoke softly, and Naruto turned to see an Okatana sword on a small hilltop, its dark blue sheath tied with a yellow ribbon. In Naruto's mind, the sword said, "Descendant of Sparta, it's been ages since I have been used." Pulling him toward the sword, Naruto extended his hand toward the Okatana, crackling purple lightning as he grasped the hilt. "Sword, tell me your name." "Curious," Naruto said. "My name is Yamato." The sword replied. Carrying Yamato in his right hand, Naruto said, "Well, then Yamato, let's return home." N. The Devil Bringer is under a Genjutsu and Henge combo made by Kakashi. Naruto took the sword out of its sheath and proceeded to slash a tree before deftly flipping it and sheathing it with a click. The tree creaked as it fell into pieces of wood. "Where is Naruto?" Kakashi inquired. "I don't know, but I think I see him coming out of that graveyard," Sakura replied. Sasuke became especially interested in the sword when Naruto really emerged from the clearing holding a katana. "Give me that sword, Dobi," Sasuke said in a demanding manner. "Only a Uchiha can harness the power of that sword." Naruto gave him a disbelieving look and retorted, "Hell no, you can't use this sword." After reaching for the sword, Sasuke was kicked in the stomach and launched into a tree. "Look, Teme, I will never relinquish this sword. Now, mongrel, shut up or I'll break all your ribs," Naruto said, his eyes going cold. "Don't talk to Sasuke-kun like that," yelled Sakura. He caught her fist and threw her over his shoulder when she attempted to strike him. "Don't even try to hit me," Naruto said icily, "because you can't hit me at that level you are at. You can hit me without me noticing if that's your intention." "That's enough," exclaimed Kakashi. "You three must put an end to this pointless quarrel." Kakashi thought, "Sasuke, your arrogance will destroy this team if you don't swallow your pride." Naruto passed them, leaving Sakura and Sasuke frowning behind him while he spoke with Zabuza and Haku. Gates. "Halt, tell me about yourself and why a mist nuke.nin is here unchecked." Azumo shrugged and allowed them to pass through after Kakashi retorted languidly, "Team 7 returning from mission and they have surrendered unconditionally." "Welcome back, Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. Old man, I would like to make Zabuza Momochi and his daughter, Haku Momochi, Konoha ninjas," the Hokage said in his office. "They need a place to stay because they're sick of moving around." "Okay, Naruto, but Zabuza will have to serve a month. Long probation. Phew, I thought it was going to be severe, but I will take it," Zabuza muttered as the Hokage took a long drag from his pipe. The Hokage, Naruto, and Kakashi were left behind after Sakura and Sasuke were dismissed after Sarutobi nodded to a Chuunin to accompany Zabuza and Haku to a nearby apartment. "You seem pissed, Kakashi." The Hokage calmly voiced his opinion. "I used to be pissed when I missed Rin's wedding, when Naruto wouldn't eat his vegetables, and when Icha Paradise didn't come on time," Kakashi said, his anger gradually building. "How do you think I feel now, if the word, pissed, is the right one to describe those emotions?" Sarutobi sighed. "You know that your sensei had a lot of enemies, mostly in Iwa, but I know that you can express your anger in different ways." Kakashi opened his mouth to say something, but he closed it as the Hokage's words took time to register. "Tell me, could you possibly defeat them all, Kakashi, along with the villagers' attacks?" The Cyclops thought, "He's right. I couldn't possibly compete with a wave after wave of hordes. Additionally, those missions would have taken up more of my time because I was in Anbu." Naruto said, revealing the Devil Bringer. "So, Oji-san, will you tell me more about this bloodline of mine?" "That's the Devil Bringer," Sarutobi said, "because it skips a generation. Your father didn't have this ability, but it's said to be able to easily capture 3 men within a mile, and the sword you're carrying is Yamato, a sentient blade that can easily cut through anything. Being faster than your opponents is possible with the right training." "I see. Are there any more?" said Naruto. Replied, "Yes, they're called Devil Arms, but as a challenge, your mother, a ninja priestess, gave them their bodies back and told them to scatter, to wait until the next Sparta arrives. Now, Oji-san, who are my parents?" Sarutobi produced a scroll and said, "I didn't want to give this scroll until you made Chuunin, but there is no other choice in the matter." Naruto cautiously opened the scroll and said, "I need to know, please." "Your abilities will be explained in scrolls sealed in Namikaze blood, Naruto. If you are reading this, you are either a Chuunin or your bloodline has awakened early. I never wanted this to happen, but I had to fight the Kyuubi for the sake of the village and you. I already had a great life, and I believe that you should have a chance at life too. I love you very much, so farewell and surpass me, my son. Yondaime Hokage Minato Namikaze Sparta. So. My father was the Yondaime who fought valiantly and sealed the Kyuubi no Kitsune inside me, huh? Naruto said, his eyes widening as he finished reading. But he is the Hokage and I understand his position, but I still gonna kick his ass when I get to hell, Kakashi and the Sandaime said, staring at him with sorrow. Until then, I will become Hokage and surpass 2.San. Naruto turned back to Sarutobi and asked, so, did my mother leave a letter too? Sarutobi sighed with relief. Well, he understands now and it's a good thing that Minato destroyed most of the demons here. Her letter is at the Namikaze Sparta estate, but only you can get it, Sarutobi retorted. The Sandaime said gravely, this will be a problem since I will have to tell the council, so be wary of that, Naruto. Naruto nodded as Sarutobi threw the two away, and he and Kakashi nodded in silence before leaving the room. Courtyard. What was my father like, Kakashi, sensei? Naruto abruptly inquired. You must have known a great deal about him well enough, after the student and sensei had been walking side by side. Kakashi paused to gaze up at the clouds while he said, my sensei, your father was a prankster, but always serious when it came to training. He had a knack for changing everyone he met on missions, and he was a prodigy at inventing new jutsu. Aside from his appearance, you inherited both of his qualities. He went on, he also was known to never leave his comrades behind even if it meant failing the mission. At first, I thought he was an idiot because my father committed suicide for that same reason, but your father along with my friend Obito taught me that. Naruto replied, my father, sounds like a very great person. Too bad I won't meet him now, but someday I see him again and my mother. Kakashi nodded his head. Unfortunately I have no information on her since I barely knew her, but I know about two people who happen to know her. They were her apprentices and their names are Rin, a teammate of mine, and Yugo Uzuki. She's in Anbu as Neko, but you have a better chance at her since I lost contact with Rin. Nodded. Alright, tomorrow I have to get the inheritance along with my mother's last words and estate. Kakashi responded, your father's weapons, the Sparta weapons, have been kept in the weapons shop, the Senzuki shop, and there is a password, but before Minato died, he told me that the password was hidden inside of you. Guess you have to ask the Kyuubi if you prove you all worthy. Kakashi watched as the Namikaze Sparta fled, and Naruto tsked, tch, damn, and I thought this thing would be easy, but then, I would end up like the Uchiha, arrogant and all. Well, then sensei, I will talk to you tomorrow. The Jonin thought, this time, Naruto, I will be there to help and watch you grow. Lost in his thoughts, Naruto, the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, walked until Yamato gave a slight shoo. Yamato exclaimed, huh, Yamato? What is happening? I sense demons approaching here. Indeed, a large number of villagers emerged, surrounded by a purple aura. Demons, Naruto said, holding Yamato firmly. Then, let's get to work, shall we? He rushed in their direction and slashed through them all at once. With a loud click, he dropped to his knees to sheath his sword. After that, the demon-possessed villagers crumbled and turned into sand. Gazing at the aftermath, Naruto remarked, wow, Yamato is awesome to use. Now to deal with the Kyuubi. Retreating back into his thoughts, Naruto sat in the lotus position and meditated. He opened his eyes to find himself in a scene reminiscent of a sewer. Naruto noticed 3 pipes to his left. A light blue one, a reddish orange one, and a dark, almost blackish purple one. He saw doors to his memories to his right, and in the middle of everything was a tall cage holding a piece of paper that read, seal, in kanji. A loud voice said, Kukakuku. So you decide to visit me, how nice of you, Kit. Red, glowing eyes were staring at Naruto with intense intensity as he looked closer. Staring back at the fox without flinching, Naruto remarked, apparently, I have a feeling that you know the password that enables me to get my inheritance. Kyuubi and I have come to collect it. So you know who I am, Who are you, a mere mortal, to demand anything from me, you insignificant insect? Kyuubi's eyes narrowed at the teenager. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the descendant of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta, the jailer smirked. Sparta. I will destroy you, that damn devil left me alone for that accursed woman. When you are gone, I will take over your body and be free. Kyuubi snarled at him, and Naruto entered the cage as it proclaimed, well, it seems that I have to beat it out of you. Hey, it's showtime, come on, fox. Naruto ducked under the fox's belly and used Yamato to slash at it as it lunged at the Sparta. Naruto narrowly avoided Kyuubi's slash after he let out a guttural roar. The fox yelled at her captor, "You will not escape from me, descendant of Sparta." "Geez, give me a break, damn it. I did not betray you at all," Naruto replied. The Kyuubi screamed, "Silence," as it blasted our blonde hero with a black flame. Naruto said, "Ah, she," and swam aside. He glanced at the wall behind him, which had melted under the intense fireball heat. With an evil smirk on its face, or muzzle, perhaps, the demon tenant remarked, "Flames of hell. I have been saving it for Sparta originally, but your ass will do." As he twirled Yamato around, Naruto whistled and said gravely, "That is a great technique, but sadly, I can't get burnt to a crisp, fox, because I have to prove to everyone that I am not you, that I am strong and take shit from nobody. While you were having your little rant, I happened to have my sentient blade explain to me a particular move to defeat your stupid fuzzy ass. Take this, Judgment Cut," the Jinchuriki said, sheathing Yamato and shifting into a Batojutsu stance. Naruto took a step back, and a dimension appeared around Kyuubi's head, slashing at its eyes and sensitive muzzle. The fox let out a painful howl and collapsed to the ground. Watching the Kyuubi transform back into a woman in her early 20s, the Sparta descendant gasped in exhaustion. She had tanned, smooth skin, 9 tails draped over her nude body, and canines hanging over her lips. Naruto sat down and waited for her to awaken. Holy shit, the Kyuubi's a girl. Well, duh, she was kind of pissed with Sparta leaving her. I could kill her now, but it seemed too cruel even though she is a demon. She experiences the same kind of pain and loneliness like me. After 20 minutes, the demon started to move and stretch in a feline manner. Naruto laughed so hard at this that he said, "Good morning, princess. Did you enjoy your nap?" To relieve her glory, the Kyuubi blinked briefly before leaping back into her fighting stance. "Are you sure you're going to fight me like that, miss?" asked Naruto, glancing at the Kyuubi, who gasped as clothing appeared on her before assuming her fighting stance again. Naruto said solemnly, "Good, now you are wondering why I spared you, Kyuubi." Kyuubi gave a nod, but she remained vigilant. "This reason is that you remind me of myself. You have lived a life of loneliness and pain, and you also have gained strength to gain recognition from others. You fought, and continued to fight until you reached to the top as the Kyuubi no Kitsune, am I right?" calmly replied Naruto. The demon lowered her defenses gradually. Gazing directly into her eyes, Naruto firmly stated, "Also, I need you, Kyuubi, to help me surpass my ancestors and my father. With your power, we will be able to bring justice and peace to the world." Kyuubi noticed the boy's genuine honesty when he looked into his cerulean eyes. She could have sworn that the silhouette of Sparta was her jailer as she blinked. Kyuubi tapped his forehead and said, "Okay, I'll help you, but first we need to speed up your bloodline to gain your full potential." Naruto experienced pain before fading into unconsciousness and everything turning black. "Damn, I have a major headache. What happened? The last thing I remembered is," Naruto said, his voice trailing off as the memories flooded back into his mind after he woke up groggily. The last time Naruto saw Kyuubi nude, he flushed. "Okay, 2.san. I might go easy on you since you happen to seal a hot vixen inside me," Naruto replied. The remark made Kyuubi flush. "Thanks for the compliment, you're no slouch yourself apparently." Naruto noticed that his eyes were cyan and his hair was bleached blonde when he looked down at his reflection in the water. His arms and abs were more muscular and toned, and he had lost the majority of his baby fat. Naruto remarked, "So it seems that my bloodline has kicked in." Kyuubi remarked, "And that is not all, these two appeared when you were knocked out." Naruto turned to see 2 men, one of whom was holding Yamato in his left hand with his silver hair slicked back and wearing a blue trenchcoat, while the other was holding a large, silver, gray, double-barreled revolver with his silver hair down. He carried the Devil Bringer in his right arm and a sword with a hilt resembling a motorcycle on his back. Naruto questioned, "These people are my ancestors, right?" Replied, "Hi, Naruto.kun. The one with the revolver is named Nero, the original wielder of the Devil Bringer. The revolver he holds is Blue Rose and the sword is Red Queen. He will help you bring out the true powers of the Devil Bringer. The one with the blue cape is named Virgil. He wielded Yamato and he will be teaching you the Dark Slayer style." Kyuubi said, "Oh, and get some new threads since that jumpsuit can't fit you anymore." Naruto shrugged, "Meh, I was gonna lose it anyway." Naruto grinned slowly and said, "Hey, this is going to be fun. Get something dark like purple or black and when you got to the Senzuki shop, say this, Black Night, Dark Sky, the Devil's Cry." Kyuubi yelled as he faded back to the real world. Naruto nodded and waved at her before fading away. Real world. After waking up, Naruto said, "Alright, it's time to buy clothes." He snatched Chan and his wallet and fled into the street, taking a deep breath before entering the clothing store. As she eyed Naruto, a woman behind the counter said, "Hey, stranger, how may I be of assistance to you?" The woman gave him a seductive smile and said, "Well, take your time, mister." Naruto smiled sweetly and replied, "I am just looking for now, miss." After nodding, Naruto started to search the area until he came across a black trenchcoat with purple trim. Imagine Virgil's coat, except the primary color is black. Next, he discovered a black muscle shirt without sleeves, black fingerless gloves, black ankle, high boots, and black Anbu pants. When he got to the counter, the woman said, "That will be 250 Ryu please." Naruto took out the money and handed it to her, saying, "Thanks, you have been a great help, lady." He gave her a wink, which made her blush. He hurried out of the store, saying, "Next, the Senzuki shop." He noticed that people were staring at him strangely, mostly girls with lustful eyes, and he said, "Oh boy, I have a feeling that my looks are gonna be the death of me." "Ah, the Senzuki shop," he thought. The Jinchuriki opened the door to discover a variety of weapons displayed on the walls. Suddenly, a girl sporting a Chinese shirt, 2 buns in her hair, and chocolate brown eyes said, "Welcome to the Senzuki shop." Naruto asked, "May I please speak with the shop owner?" While Naruto was looking around and fingering a kusarigama, the girl nodded and ran into the back. Suddenly, the girl returned with a man who had 3 scars over his right eye and said, "My name is Kua Senzuki, and this is my niece, Tenten. Do you require a custom item?" "No, I have a message, Black Night, Dark Sky, the Devil's Cry." Naruto shook his head. But, you're supposed to be dead," Kua stammered, his eyes widening in surprise. "You're not Minato." Naruto replied, "I'm his son, Naruto." Kua gave him a suspicious look and demanded proof. "Kua-san, is that satisfactory?" Naruto closed his eyes and revealed the Devil Bringer. Kua shakily nodded in ignorance and said, "Okay. I believe you now, let me get your inheritance," in response to the boy's question. Tenten remarked, "So the legend is true, Sparta did exist," as the man disappeared into the back, leaving Naruto and Tenten alone. Naruto grinned and said, "Yes, it is true. I had assumed it was a myth." "Tenten, you look familiar." "Ah, I remember now." Tenten exclaimed with excitement, "You are that well-known weapons expert. I already have a reputation." The weapons expert blushed at her situation and shifted the conversation, "So, you are the Yondaimi's son, eh?" The Sparta grinned, "Ever since you beat the shit out of that guy who grabbed your breasts." Naruto replied with a grin, "Yeah, but it is not the title I want to be recognized as myself. I want to surpass my 2-san." Tenten nodded and said, "Well, then I looked forward to see you accomplish that dream of yours, Naruto." At that moment, Kua returned with a briefcase and guitar case, which he hefted on the table and handed to Naruto. Naruto opened the guitar case to reveal 2 pairs of guns and 2 amulets, along with a note that read, "In this briefcase, holds ebony and ivory, Dante's guns and Luce and Umbra, Sparta's guns along with the perfect amulet." He opened the guitar case to reveal Red Queen, 2 more swords, and another note. "This guitar case holds Rebellion, Dante's sword, Force Edge, Sparta's sword, and Red Queen, Nero's sword." He discovered holsters beneath the guns and strapped them onto his waist and back, fitting them into them. "Make good use of them, and once more, I apologize, Minato Namikaze. Sparta." After reading the instructions to seal the swords into blood seals, Naruto decided to carry Force Edge on his back and seal Rebellion with the kanji for resistance on his right hand and Red Queen in a tattoo of a woman with red hair on his left. He put the amulet around his neck and said, "Thanks, Kua-san, Ten-chan, I will see you later." The Jinchuriki then picked up the empty guitar case and suitcase, leaving a blushing Tenten and a beaming Kua in the store. Naruto was then approached by an Anbu who said, "Naruto, you are hereby requested to see the council." Despite rolling his eyes, Naruto started to follow him to the tower of the Hokage. Hokage's tower. The council was complaining because Sarutobi had summoned them to a meeting. "Now, what's the deal, Sarutobi?" "Everything will be revealed in due time," Homura said to his former teammate, to which Sarutobi replied. A few members of the civilian council then glared at Naruto as he entered. "Hokage. Sama, why is this boy here?" "This boy is here because the issue at hand involves him," remarked one of the civilian councilors scornfully, and Sarutobi glared at him. "What could possibly be worth mentioning about this boy?" Kaharu sneered. A smirk formed on Sarutobi's lips, alerting the civilian council to the seriousness of the situation. The fact that Naruto Uzumaki is the son of Minato Namikaze Sparta. As the shinobi clan side suppressed stifled laughter, the civilian council's jaws dropped. That is not true, that is impossible, Kaharu said, startled and a little afraid. As he unveiled the Devil Bringer, Naruto grinned ominously at the council, saying, "Believe it, bitches. Karma is a bitch, as we say, and the Sparta line is back. For the rest of your miserable lives, you will have to live with the knowledge that you have wronged your own savior's son. Sparta. Sama, I would like to arrange a marriage contract with my daughter, Sakura too," yelled Daiki, one of the civilians. "Fuck that shit, the hell I will do that," Naruto said, glaring at them. "If someone doesn't love me for who I am, not for my wealth or status, I won't marry them. You should shove that contract up your mighty, tight ass." Daiki sat down again, unable to speak. Naruto went on. "Now I, Naruto Namikaze Sparta, would like to enact my status as clan head and voted to remove the civilian council from all affairs." "Is there another one?" Sarutobi inquired. Sume Inazaka grinned ferociously and said, "I second the motion." Danzo yelled aloud, "This is an outrage, you can't do this to us." "Everyone in support of the motion?" Sarutobi asked, ignoring Danzo's outburst. All of the shinobi clan heads raised their hands. Motion carried. Officially, the civilian council has been dissolved. Get these people out of here, Anbu. Also, the Clan Restoration Act will be administered when you reach the rank of Chuunin, Naruto. I'm sorry, but that is the way it is. Sarutobi remarked as the former councilors yelled angrily and were soon forced out of the council room. "I could care less, but only I choose the girls and the girls have to make their choice on their own free will." Naruto shrugged, bowing before leaving the room. "Now excuse me, I have to meet my team." Bridge. Naruto arrived at the bridge early, so he decided to kill time by throwing away his coat and balancing on top of the arch with one finger. When Sakura and Sasuke arrived, the pink-haired banshee glared at him, saying, "Why are you trying so hard, Naruto? Baka, and what is with the new look? Sasuke-kun is unbeatable. Goddamn, he's gorgeous, sexy, so freaking hot," Inner Sakura exclaimed. "Please, unlike Sasuke, Naruto-kun is not an ice cube or gay for that matter." Sakura screamed inwardly, "Shut up, I don't like Naruto, he is an idiot." When Kakashi appeared, Naruto flipped to stand up and abruptly pulled out Umbra and Ivory, shooting at Kakashi's feet and making him dance like a monkey. "Dance, Scarecrow. I command you to dance." Sasuke had just sent Naruto a scowl and gone to brood on the bridge's side. "If you are ever late again and give us some shitty lie, I will make you dance even longer and I can keep it up all day since I have a large chakra capacity. Got it?" Kakashi knelt down on his knees, panting heavily, after wasting bullets for 10 minutes. Naruto pointed Umbra at his head. "The half-devil spoke menacingly." Sasuke asked, glancing at Naruto's weapons, "What are those?" "Ivory, ebony, loose, and Umbra are my guns," Naruto replied. "Give them to me, I need them to defeat," Sasuke insisted. I know, to defeat your brother, Itachi," Naruto said, waving him away. Sasuke became enraged and threw a kunai at him, but Naruto tipped his head in response. "The only problem is that I am not going to give them to you," the Jinchuriki said, slicing back his hair fluidly. "Even with them, you can't possibly defeat Itachi with the level you are at." Sasuke was about to respond when Naruto put on his black trenchcoat and said, "Look, you want revenge, but it will only destroy you." Kakashi cut him off, saying, "Enough, now I have just nominated you 3 for the Chuunin exams." "Chuunin exams?" Sakura asked her sensei, looking perplexed. Naruto clarified, "It is an exam held every 4 years in the 5 great countries. Ninja from each country are sent there to provide entertainment and to show the village's strength and political power." They all 3 give him a startled look. Naruto yelled, "What?" Some guys in green spandex were hugging and screaming at the top of their lungs about it. Sakura and Sasuke shuddered at the image their teammate gave them, and Kakashi's eye twitched a little. Kakashi handed them the piece of paper and said, "Well, here are the slips. Meet at the academy in room 301, Yane." Sakura followed Sasuke to inquire about a date once more, while Sasuke and Naruto took their slips and parted ways. As Naruto approached his house, he paused and fired the box, revealing the Konohamaru core. 1. A rock is not perfect at all corners. 2. What are you doing here? And 3. Nice goggles. Sakura said sarcastically, "Wow, a ninja playing ninja." Naruto responded, "Got rejected, huh?" Konohamaru crossed his arms and said, "As I expected of my rival, you promised to play ninja with us. Is she your girlfriend?" Udon sniffed. A knot formed on Sakura's billboard forehead as she cracked her knuckles, and there was an unsettling silence. Konohamaru responded arrogantly, "Hell no. Boss can do so much better than that. I mean, look at her, she has no chest." Whispering, "Konohamaru," the boy replied, "Why? Yeah?" With a gulp. "Run," said Naruto. Sakura chased after Konohamaru as he drove off. Naruto, Udon, and Moegi jogged after them and saw that Konohamaru had run into a busty, dirty blonde with a huge fan strapped to her back and someone wearing a black suit with purple makeup. The boy picked Konohamaru up by the rumple of his shirt and exclaimed, "You little runt. That hurt." Then, Naruto said, "Oi, makeup boy, put him down." The boy looked up at him and said, "Why should I?" The enigmatic boy was suddenly looking down at Force Edge, who was standing at his throat and carefully setting the boy down. A pebble rapped the boy's hand sharply as he reached for the package on his back after Naruto removed Force Edge from his throat. "You really don't want to do that," said Sasuke, who was bouncing a few rocks in the tree when everyone looked up. Everyone turned to look at the redhead upside down, glaring at his teammates, when a new voice yelled gravely, "Kankuro, stop that. You're a disgrace to our entire village." Kyuubi remarked, "Ichibi no Shukaku, that crazy girl finally got caught, The red-headed boy asked the two boys, "What are your names?" Naruto said to the vixen, "So this is the Ichibi Jinchuriki, He reeks of blood and he looked like an insomniac. Something must be wrong with the seal." With his typical smirk, Sasuke responded, "Sasuke Uchiha." After considering his name, Naruto decided to keep the Sparta silent and said, "Naruto Namikaze, you guys are." The redhead replied, "Gaara, Sabaku no Gaara. These are my siblings Kankuro and Temari." Naruto pointed to Temari and nodded, saying, "Remember my name, Temari." Then Temari let out a loud yelp as someone slapped her ass. According to Naruto, because you will be screaming it later, he concluded. When Naruto and his companions reappeared, the Sunakunoichi flushed violently. Gaara walked away silently, ignoring the incident, but Kankuro stored it in his memory for future use. Naruto mouthed a few words while glaring at a nearby tree where Sasuke and Gaara were. "That is a nice ass she got. Damn, pretty soon I am gonna be a playboy at this rate." 3 individuals with a musical note engraved on their headbands leapt down when it was safe to do so. A slender, angry man, a hunched man with most of his face covered except for his indecisive face, and a flushed brunette were among them. "We must be cautious around those 3, especially the silver-haired kid or our plan will fail," the one with a bandage stated. Entering the nooks and crannies of his mind, Naruto found Kasumi, Dante, Virgil, and Nero waiting to train him. "Okay, Naruto. I will train you first," Virgil responded. "Now let's start. The Dark Slayer style requires quick dodging and evasion maneuvers, but different from the trickster style you use." Naruto said, "I am guessing because of the Kasumi." Virgil nodded, "That's right, Master Naruto. Now, Dante, Nero, Kasumi, and I will pursue you and attack to catch you up." Naruto glanced at the smirks of Red Queen and Rebellion, but was most alarmed by Kasumi's sly smile. Naruto exclaimed, "Wah. Ready, set, go," came Virgil's rapid exclamation. The following 3 hours were spent by Naruto avoiding Red Queen's combo attacks, drives, flamethrowers, bullets, and invisible cuts. "Now you're warm. Up is done. Let's train your sword skills against me and my oh-so-charming brother of mine." Dante took over after Naruto had caught his breath. Virgil also drew his weapon as Dante grasped the sword's hilt. After summoning Force Edge and Yamato, Naruto attacked them both. Their devil blood then began to flow, and the 3 of them engaged in a 5-hour battle royale. The battle continued for 2 more hours after Nero joined in. Taking over, Kasumi attempted to awaken his devil trigger while teaching him her jutsu. For some reason, Naruto and Kasumi's combined efforts were unable to awaken it. Normally, the devil within is awakened by either using a devil arm like Dante or by extensive training like Virgil, but neither of those strategies works for him. Naruto knew from experience that if he didn't gather, she would force him to run 4 miles while attacking him with Kaden Jutsu and projectiles. "Good, you have mastered Kaden. Hausenka no Jutsu and Suiryuden no Jutsu. Good thing I memorized Zabuza's hand signs. It's physical training time. Drop down and give me 500, Kasumi said. He began by performing push-ups, followed by crunches and sit-ups. Naruto quickly fainted from exhaustion, even though he had a lot of stamina. After that, Kasumi sends him back to reality. Dante replied, "Well, that was fun torturing him. He will be strong in no time since time is different than his world." Yeah, said Kasumi. You like him, don't you? Dante smirked at her. With a fierce flush, Kasumi exclaimed, no, I don't. When Kasumi suddenly appeared with a mallet and chased after the fleeing Dante, Dante's grin grew even wider. Oh, really? Then why are you blushing so heavily? He asked. Naruto awoke with pain. Damn, I swear my ancestors are fucking sadists, but then again, they are of devil blood though. Time to go and take a test. What took you so long, damn it? Sasuke asked as he was building. Sorry, gotta dress to impress, was Naruto's response. He was glared at by both of his teammates as they entered the building. When Team 7 entered the building, they saw two seasoned genin push back a man with tight eyebrows and green spandex. Naruto thought, that is the mini green spandex man I saw yesterday. Then Tenten was beside him. Naruto pondered, I assume Tenten is his teammate. He decided to stop it by firing a few shots into the air after noticing that she had been struck by those guards. Everyone turned to see Naruto smoking a cigarette while holding loose. With an interesting tone, the Jinchuriki said, I am so sorry for disturbing you, but how about you leave her alone now? And while you are at it, dispel the genjutsu, yelled Sasuke, not wanting to be outdone. That idiot, the genjutsu was supposed to weed out the weaklings for the test. Man, he is supposed to be a genius, thought Naruto, fuming inwardly. Are you Sakura? The tiny green spandex man asked as he abruptly approached Sakura. My name is Rock Lee. Will you honor me by going on a date with me? He asked after the girl nodded. Sakura's expression went from uninterested to horrified. Hell no. You are way too weird, she said. You all right, Tenten? Asked Naruto as he helped Tenten up. I'm fine, Naruto.kun. Tenten grunted. Naruto noticed the suffix but remained silent. Then Sasuke and Naruto were approached by a boy with light lavender eyes who asked, Hey, what are your names? With a smug grin, Sasuke said, Uchiha Sasuke. The boy with the pale eyes said, Hyuga Neji. Naruto turned to face him and said, You will know my name when the time comes. After Naruto left, Sasuke and Sakura came right behind him. The moment they were close to the exam entrance, Lee yelled, Uchiha Sasuke, I challenge you to a duel. Sasuke ignored Naruto's eyes as he leapt down the railing to confront the green beast of Konoha, saying, Sasuke, we don't have time for this and you are probably gonna get your ass kicked badly. 5 minutes later, Naruto said in a grating sing-song voice, Told ya you were going to get your ass kicked. Shut up, Dobi. Sasuke muttered. Then a squeal was heard, and a figure with blonde and purple hair rushed to glomp him. Hello, Sasuke, Ino exclaimed, trying to sound sexy. Get your hands off of my Sasuke.kun, Ino.pig, screamed Sakura. Hey, Shikamaru, Choji, see any good clouds today? Naruto said as he greeted them. Sighing, Shikamaru said, No, I couldn't because of this troublesome exam. With his bag of chips in hand, Choji asked, Pizza, flavored? As another well-known voice exclaimed, Yahoo, found you. Naruto nodded his gratitude and took a few. Team 7 and Team 10 turned to face Team 8, Kiba Inazaka, Shino Aburame, and the beautiful Hinata Hyuga. Hinata timidly said, Hello. To the group. Kiba responded, Looks like the gang is all here. I wonder how far we will get. Where is that idiot Naruto anyway? Right in front of you, dumbass, was Naruto's response. Kiba responded, Naruto? What's with the wardrobe change? The Jinchuriki said, Bloodline. Then a man with glasses and silver hair in a ponytail said, Hey guys, you should be quieter. Who the hell are you? Ino blurted. The genin replied, Name's Kabuto, Yakushi Kabuto, and I suggest again to quiet down or you will piss off those aim nin behind you. Kabuto.san, is this your second time? Sakura inquired. The genin nodded as Kabuto took out some cards. This is my 7th time. This exam is held twice a year, so this would be my 4th year, he said, shaking his head. I assume you want information on the exam, right? Naruto laughed. Wow, if I knew that we were gonna play duel monsters in the exam, I would have brought my own deck. My dark magician of chaos would have destroyed you. Kabuto laughed. These are my ninja info cards. They have information burned with chakra on them and you can't activate it unless I use my chakra on them. Do you have info on individuals too? Sasuke asked, and Kabuto nodded. Sabaku no Gaara, Rock Lee, and Uzumaki Naruto. Shino and the other genin questioned why Sasuke was interested in Naruto. Rock Lee, he has done 20 D rank and 12 C rank. His teammates are Tenten Higurashi and Neji Hyuga, his sensei is Maeda Guy. taijutsu. Hai Chuunin, ninjutsu. Non-existent, genjutsu. Non-existent. Sabaku no Gaara, he has done 16 D rank, 8 C rank, and wow, even a B rank. His taijutsu, ninjutsu and genjutsu are unknown, but it says here that he came here without a scratch from all his missions. Lastly, Uzumaki Naruto, he has completed 30 D rank, 1 B rank, and 1 A rank. Taijutsu. Low Genin, ninjutsu. High Genin, genjutsu. Low Genin, kinjutsu. High Jonin. Teammates are Yuen Sakura Haruno and Sensei is Kakashi Hitaki. Kabuto read to the newcomers. When Naruto smirked at the news, everyone raised an eyebrow. Konoha, along with sand, rain, grass, waterfall, and sound are currently taking this exam. The ones you shouldn't worry about is sound, since it is newly developed now. Hey, so Oto is a minor village, Dosu. Said the scrawny boy wearing a Hite.8 with a musical note. Dosu, who was wearing a bandage, said, is that so, Zaku? Zaku said, let's play with them a bit. Dosu laughed, hee, good idea calling us leftovers. Let's add to his data that Oto Ninja can be quite destructive. Kin, you stay back. The Kunoichi was about to object, but changed his mind and nodded as the two moved between the crowd. As Kabuto and Naruto watched them, Naruto suddenly materialized in front of Zaku and Dosu, his cherished firearms in their faces. Look, I know we are all eager and everything, but save it for the exam. Ibiki muttered, excited, my ass. Dosu apologized, sorry, we were a little excited. Then a man yelled, I'm Morino Ibiki, the first proctor of the exam. Oto, stop this foolishness or be disqualified. The crowd shuffled a little uncomfortably as the proctors grinned ominously. Which brings up the first rule, no fighting unless I give the word. The unfortunate bastards who break that law will fail immediately, understand? He said, clearing his throat. With a confident smirk, Zaku said, this exam sounds easy. Ibiki went on, now for the seating arrangements, you will pick a tab with a number on it and sit at the appropriate seat, then we will hand out the exams. As soon as everyone was seated, Naruto muttered, great, a fucking paper test. Naruto sat down and saw Hinata beside him. Hey, Hinata. Naruto smiled warmly at her. Shyly, Hinata replied, Hello, N Naruto.kun. Let's duo. Our best. Ibiki spoke to Naruto. Don't turn over the tests until I tell you to do so. First, we must go over the rules and no questions will be answered, so listen carefully. You each start with 10 points. The test has 10 questions, if you miss one, you have 9. The second rule is that it is a team test, to see if how much your test can hold up to 30 points. Sakura yelled, I don't understand this system and why it is a team test. Ibiki yelled, if you shut the fuck up, I can tell you. Why the fuck I say no questions will be answered. The man calmed down and kept going. The third and most important rule is that if anyone who is caught cheating will have their points subtracted by 2 points. A proctor made the remark, we have our eye on you guys. Ibiki spoke to the crowd. Realize that the weak ones who get caught are destroying themselves. As shinobi trying to become Chuunin. Be proud ninjas. The final rule is that if a teammate don't answer all question correctly or loses all points will fail, along with their 2 teammates. What? Sakura thought. I sense 2 people who want to kill me. They can try, Naruto mused to himself. You will have 1 hour to complete the test, begin, Ibiki said, and the genin handed their tests over and started writing down their responses. What the hell? You have to be Sakura to answer these damn questions. Naruto was thinking. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Sasuke mimicking the movements of an undercover Chuunin with his Sharingan. Why is he cheating? Wait a minute. Scarface gave us plenty of freebies to cheat. So maybe, the true test is that he wants us to cheat and not get caught. He was thinking to himself. A minority soon started cheating after the Jinchuriki muttered, Kuso, I don't have anything in my arsenal for cheating. I guess I have to wait until the 10th question. Ino used the Shintenshin no Jutsu on Sakura before giving Shikamaru and Choji the answers via Jutsu. Gaara used his third eye. Tenten used the mirrors to give Lee the answers. Kankuro used his puppet Karasu, disguised as a proctor, to pass the answers to Temari. Hinata and Neji used their Byakugan. And Gaara used his third eye. 13 teams were caught cheating and failed the exam shortly after the hour. When Kankuro returned with the Chuunin, Ibiki said, okay, now we begin the 10th question, but I must apply the added rules for this question. You had fun playing your doll. The puppet master tensed up, he knew about Karasu? Temari shouted, choose. What happens if we say no? Ibiki's eyes darkened. That's easy, you fail. Your points turn to 0 and your team is evicted from the exams. Ibiki went on. The rules are for you to decide to take it or not. What the hell does that supposed to mean then? Of course we will take it, yelled a random genin. If you answer incorrectly, you will never be able to take this exam again. Ibiki grinned to respond. Kiba yelled, you can't do that, there are guys here who took this exam before. Ibiki gave a dark grin. That year, they didn't have me, so it is my rules now, but if you choose not to take it, you will be able to take it next year. This is bullshit, yelled another random genin. Ibiki glanced at her and said, tough nubs. Now there is anybody who doesn't want to risk the 10th question, please raise your fucking hand. Genin fell out one by one and were led out the door. So, anyone else? Ibiki asked. Scarface, if you think that using that tactic to scare us, then they are mistaken, so take that and shove it up your ass. Naruto got up slowly, and just as a proctor was about to call his number, he brought his fist down, cracking the table and startling Hinata a little. Then Ibiki said, are you sure you want to take the risk? If you get this question wrong, you'll remain a genin forever. Ibiki thought, laughing. Nobody had ever had the guts to call me that in a long time. Naruto said with conviction, then I will be the strongest genin ever then. Titles are nothing when it comes to terms of strength. An inexperienced Chuunin can be defeated by an experienced genin. The Tokubetsu Chuunin thought to himself, interesting, that speech gave them back their confidence and spirit. Ibiki glanced at the crowd, who were now wearing confident expressions. The scarred man said, for those of you remaining here, you pass. Time to give them the final verdict. Say what? Yelled the genin. Ibiki smiled and said, your choice to take the question was the 10th question. Sakura then asked, then what about the 10th question? Temari exclaimed, so what about the other 9, what was their purpose? The leader of torture and interrogation stated, those questions were not for a genin to answer unless you were a genius, forcing you to cheat, so we had 2 or more Chuunins located near you to help up out. Those who cheated poorly failed. Because, at times, information is more important than life, and people will risk everything to get it. Sasuke pondered as Ibiki decided to take this opportunity to untie his bandana and show off his scarred hand, which was full of burns and screwholes. The after effects of torture. Naruto was thinking, damn, somebody tried awfully hard to get into that head of his. Ibiki removed his bandana and thought, if the enemy notices you, there is no guarantee that the info will be accurate. Information can be a powerful weapon for your country and teammates. Temari remarked, Demo, I don't understand the final question. Ibiki exhaled. The 10th question is based on a choice, a leap of faith that could make you or break you. The ability to face any hardships and be perilous is the qualifications for a Chuunin. So I wish you guys luck. To his surprise, Ibiki grinned back at Naruto when he smirked at him. Interesting kid, Ibiki pondered. Ibiki saw a banner thrown into the room when she abruptly sensed movement at the window. A woman wearing a long, sleeved beige trenchcoat and a fishnet emerged as it started to unwind. You guys should not be celebrating this early yet, she yelled. According to Anko, I am the second examiner of the exam, now let's go. The banner was embroidered with the words, the sexy mistress, Anko Midarashi. Hello nurse. Naruto whistled. Who is that kid? He looks sexy, Anko thought. From behind the banner, Ibiki said, Anko, you're early, again. You left 78 pass, shot back Anko, your test is way too easy. Sakura thought, in half. As the promiscuous woman yelled, follow me, Ibiki said, humbly, there are some interesting ones this year, especially the silver. Blonde kid. Anko sneered, hey, fine, my test will cut them in half. Welcome to the second part of the exam, Training Area 44, also known as the Forest of Death, said Anko, referring to Training Area 44. Anko smirked and threw a kunai at Naruto, who caught it in midair. Naruto said arrogantly, I bet that this place doesn't live up to its name. Guys like you always get killed quickly. Naruto grinned and said, really? Are you sure about your theory, miss? Anko felt the coldness of his gun's barrel suddenly. 'Cause I am sure I can change your mind in many different ways. And, how many? Anko inquired. In response, Naruto said, 69. Anko replied, hey, I like your style, kid. Anyway, I need you to sign these waiver forms, that way if you happen to die, we don't get blamed for it. Her smile caused some of the genin to become a little uneasy. Okay, the rules are simple, you guys will fight over 2 scrolls labeled Heaven and Earth in a no-holds-barred event. Your team will receive one of those scrolls and make the search for the other, but this will last only 5 days and you must make it to the tower located in the middle. If your teammate is killed, you open the scroll, or don't make it in time, you fail the exam. Now choose a gate and a word of advice, just don't die. When Enko gave the order to begin, each genin ran through the gate they had been assigned. Naruto held Yamato close to him, thinking, it begins. Sakura exclaimed, what are you thinking? Doing that in front of a lady, Naruto responded casually, pooh. Lise, this is nothing. Anyway, I gotta take a piss. Was that a scream? Sakura said, I'm getting nervous. Naruto glanced back, who says I was going to do that in front of you? I don't want you to jump me to compare if little Sasuke Chan is bigger and the lady part is arguable. If you were a lady, you would have assets, and you seriously don't have any. Naruto went behind the tree to expel his body functions before Sakura could respond. Naruto. The Namikaze had just finished urinating when he heard a sound coming from behind him. Naruto turned to face a lone aim nin wearing a beige jumpsuit and a breather and remarked, you know, it is really rude for someone to sneak up on someone doing business with nature. Damn, I got the wrong one. I got the wrong one. I'll just impersonate you and take your team's scroll by force. The Rain Ninja replied. He made a move to strike him, but Naruto dodged his arm and pointed ivory at the ninja's temple instead. Naruto said, I don't think that is going to happen, sweet dreams. He then used the butt of his gun to knock him unconscious and searched his belongings, thinking, some explosive tags, double-ended kunai, and a heaven scroll. Sasuke has ours, but if I tell him, he might try to take it from me, so I won't tell them about it. He tied the Rain Nin to the tree with his own clothes before returning to his team. Sasuke yelled, it is about time, what the hell took you so long? Sakura exclaimed, yeah, Naruto. Baka, in an attempt to win Sasuke's favor. Sasuke and Sakura blushed as Naruto said sardonically, sorry, it is just so hard to fit it all back in, blame fucking genetics. First recovered by Sasuke, anyways I think we need a password just in case we get separated. Assume that they are the enemy no matter what they look like. The phrase, the nin song, nin. Machine. That person must recite this answer. A large amount of loud enemies is the friend of the shinobi. Hide and remain. A shinobi must understand the proper time when the enemy is tired and ill. Prepared. Got it? Sakura nodded, and Naruto waved his hand dismissively at Sasuke, saying, yeah, whatever, huh? A powerful wind then blew Team 7 away to various locations, pushing Naruto farther away because he was in the middle of the blast. Sakura and Sasuke. What was that, an enemy? Sasuke said as he took cover in a nearby bush. Then he came out of hiding to run into Sakura. Sasuke-kun, she began to say until Sasuke abruptly interrupted, stay away. The passcode comes first. A lot of noisy enemies are the shinobi's friend, hide and stay, Sakura recited. Okay, you were clear, Sakura. Now we just need to regroup with the dobi. Sasuke lowered his guard. A shinobi must know the proper time when the enemy is fatigued and unprepared. As expected, Naruto emerged and exclaimed, ow, that hurt like a bitch. As Sakura put it, Naruto, the code word. A lot of noisy enemies are the shinobi's friends. Hide and stay, Naruto grinned. A shinobi needs to know when the enemy is fatigued and unprepared. Sakura sighed, and Sasuke smirked as he threw a kunai at Naruto, who sidestepped the projectile and exclaimed, what the fuck, Sasuke? He yelled. Naruto grinned and vanished in a cloud of smoke as he said, it's impressive that you knew I was a fake. Sasuke responded, you are not Naruto. He didn't listen to a word I said and he obviously didn't care about the passphrase, but at least you were good enough to dodge my attacks. I didn't realize how much fun this would be. Sakura thought, so, where is that idiot Naruto then? The smoke cleared, revealing a strange-looking woman wearing a headband that indicated her Kusa origin. I don't like this, that woman is giving me a creepy feeling. Sakura's suspicions were confirmed when the woman produced her Earth Scroll, saying, you want my Earth Scroll since you have the heaven, right? The woman forced the scroll down her tongue while protruding her unusually large tongue. Sasuke said, that was utterly disgusting. With her eyeball touched by her finger, the Kusa Kunoichi said in a deep voice, now the battle for the scrolls will commence with our lives on the lifeline. Sakura and Sasuke's eyes widened in terror as they witnessed their death unfold before their very eyes. Was that genjutsu? No, that was only killing intent alone. She made us see an image of death. Who the hell is she? Sasuke asked, struggling to look at the kunoichi as Sakura collapsed to the ground in shock. Damn it, she was too weak to withstand the intent and now she is frozen, Sasuke said, beckoning his teammate to move but realizing she was still in shock. We must flee or we will perish in a matter of seconds, he thought frantically. The Kusa Kunoichi laughed ruthlessly. Kukakuku. You're unable to move a muscle, are you? It's funny, I thought this would be enjoyable. Sasuke fumbled to move, brandishing a kunai, saying, come on, just a little bit more. Get moving. Blood was splattered on the ground as the Kunoichi hurled multiple kunai at them, but the kunai did not reach its target. A few feet from where they meet the Kusa Kunoichi, Sasuke wrenched the kunai from his thigh and put Sakura down. The unnamed Kunoichi thought, he overcome the fear with pain. I guess I will be able to have more fun. For his part, Sasuke thought, damn it. I hope Naruto is not in a predicament like this. Before Kusa met Team 7, Naruto said, sorry, I'm going to give that motherfucker a new asshole when I find the son of a bitch who did this. Where are those two now? TCH. Naruto noticed a big snake in front of him when he looked up. What a huge snake. As the snake clamped its blade on his back, Naruto grabbed Red Queen from his back and said, hey, big mistake, Snakey. He revved up the handle, severing the snake in half from the corners of its mouth, and it poofed in a large smoke column. Perfect, this just keeps on getting better and better. That was a summons, and only two people, the snake Sanin, Orochimaru, and that lady Anko, have the ability to call forth these snakes. Even though Sasuke and Sakura are in danger, Orochimaru is here unless he wants the Sharingan, which can copy any jutsu. Damn, I have to hurry. Naruto heard sounds all around him. The Sparta descendant exclaimed, now what the devil is this? As Dante warned Naruto, kid, these are one of the 7 hells. The demon army, each type representing one of the 7 deadly sins. Pride, envy, wrath, sloth, greed, gluttony, and lust. A red barrier materialized around the perimeter, and demons brandishing scythes approached him slowly. Pride, the weakest of them all, is in front of you. After taking out Umbra and hefting Red Queen, Naruto thought, well, it looks like I am going to have to do some exterminating while I am at it. Should we dance? The prides attacked him from all sides, but Naruto easily avoided their combined attack, he said, making an exaggerated bow. Oh, I forgot to mention to not get too close to the barrier or a large ethereal hand will try to hit you and cause damage. Dante said sheepishly as he was performing the backflip, raising Umbra and shooting 3 down, causing them to dissolve into sand. He landed close to the barrier and heard a noise, turning to avoid a large red hand that swiped at him. Virgil turned to his twin and said, well, since he inherited the Sparta cruel streak from me, you are basically, how you say, screwed. Kasumi laughed and said, that is my vessel. Naruto snarled, Dante, if I get out of here alive, I am driving my foot so far up your anus, you will be shitting out of your mouth for weeks on end. Naruto holstered Umbra away and began slicing through them after deciding that shooting them down was completely useless unless you aim and shoot for the head. High roller. With a shout, Naruto threw one pride into the air, kicked another one away, and then used the Devil Bringer to punch the falling pride into a nearby tree. The teenager then swung Red Queen in an arc, capturing 6 prides and dissolving them into sand as their spirits were returned to Makai. As he charged through the prides in a straight line, Naruto revved up the handle and began slicing them up. One of the prides swung its scythe down upon him, but he managed to dodge it by cartwheeling to the side out of danger and slashed off its head while in the middle of the cartwheel. Naruto then stepped on the edge of another pride's scythe and stabbed another in the chest before being surrounded and being repeatedly stabbed in the arms, legs, and chest by the remaining pride's scythes. That hurts, ah. What a bitch, Naruto yelled. Naruto pulled a broken scythe blade from his left forearm and threw it like a boomerang, and the prides stared at the Sparta in ghoulish surprise as he punched one in front of him. Naruto ducked as the metal boomerang decapitated the final pride. There was a slight tremor in the ground as Naruto sat against a tree, and he grimaced as he yanked out the last of his blades, saying, those are, some, goo, annoying bastards. What now, haven't I been trialed enough already? For Kami's sake, I simply want to reach the tower. A huge object gazed at Naruto with bright eyes. Naruto whistled, Houston, we have a problem. A large snapdragon lunged toward him, but Naruto sidestepped it and it slammed into the large tree. Who the hell are you? Naruto inquired, and a humanoid woman emerged as the snapdragon's mouth split in 4 places. Echidna immediately transformed back into her snapdragon form and swung out to devour Naruto. I am Echidna the she. Viper, your first trial, get ready to die and become one with one of my children. Sorry, but hell will freeze over before I become plant food, Naruto said, forcing her mouth open to keep it from closing. Get out of here, plant bitch. Echidna yelled, you'll be sorry you said that. The she. Viper retaliated by charging at Naruto in Snapdragon mode. Naruto leapt to his feet and used the Devil Bringer to grab its tail. Swinging Echidna over his head, Naruto roared, around and away you go. As the Sparta threw her away, Echidna's head collided with massive trunks, shattering solid trunks into splinters as she smashed through the forest. When Naruto leapt after her, Echidna's flailing tail smacked him in the body. Then, Echidna shot into the air, her tail splintering into pieces and lifting her, and beneath her, a tiny pinkish sac materialized. Naruto, that's Echidna's womb, shouted Nero. In addition to being her weakness, it gives birth to her children, chimeras. Without question, Naruto struck her where it hurts. Echidna screamed in agony as the blade continued to sever her flesh and destroy her seed. You bastard, my kids! The Sparta was screamed at by the Viper. Why are you yelling about your children? Taunted Naruto. Echidna bounded up and charged at Naruto in Snapdragon mode, but Naruto leapt and ran across her body, saying, I am doing the world a favor by ridding the world of your ugly babies. She swung around to try to strike him once more, but Naruto sidestepped and snatched her tail for a ride, then dashed across her body, expertly dodging branches and leaping, before moving to punch her head. Naruto chose to swiftly end the fight by stabbing her chest and revving Red Queen inside her, making her feel uncomfortable as she fell back and her mouth opened to reveal her humanoid form. My forest, my children! Echidna screamed in agony as she thrashed around, frantically attempting to knock Naruto off, but the Sparta refused to give up. Then he pulled it out, leaping away. You truly are a descendant of Sparta. Good job in passing your first trial. Step forward and claim your first devil arm. Gilgamesh, Echidna said as she tensed up after Naruto shot her with Umbra. After Echidna vanished, a glowing green orb was left behind. Naruto grabbed it, and a light surrounded him, adorning him with a mask, greaves, and gauntlets. Nice, now to find Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto hurried away to the sound of combat after saying this. When Sasuke's hand closed over her mouth, Sakura began to say, Sasuke.kun, are you ALR, MMPH? Shish. Sasuke said, looking at the Kunoichi with a look of panic on his face. Sakura thought, this is bad if Sasuke.kun is like this. She then writhed when she noticed a snake slithering up the branch, ready to attack Sasuke. Sakura was able to yank Sasuke's hand away and alert him to the snake. And Sasuke jumped away in fear as the snake's eyes flashed a picture of the Kunoichi. No. Avoid me. You guys shouldn't let your guard down, after all, prey always do their best when they are threatened by a predator. Sasuke yelled as he threw multiple kunai and shuriken, killing the snake. To their surprise, the Kunoichi then emerged from the dead snake's body. The Kunoichi fell, and Sasuke and Sakura looked up to see Naruto, who said, Guys, I forgot the password. She then continued to climb the tree like a snake until she was struck by multiple thunderclaps. Sasuke yelled, Naruto, we need to run away, this guy is on a higher level than us. Obviously, did you two really think you could stand a chance against a Sannin? Snorted Naruto. Sakura and Sasuke exclaimed, What? You know, Orochimaru, you are really sick and a little old to play dress up with people's bodies, Naruto said, turning to face the Kunoichi. Put on your repulsive face. According to Orochimaru, the Kyuubi brat is a Sparta. This is ideal. I will achieve perfect immorality by using Naruto's blood and Sasuke's Sharingan. The Sannin yelled, Your blood is mine. You truly want a piece of me literally, well, come and get it if you can. Naruto said, opening Yamato's seal. Kachiyose no Jutsu. Orochimaru spread on his summoning tattoo after biting his thumb. Orochimaru and a snake appeared on top of the snake's head, but Naruto retaliated by slashing Yamato upward, severing the two of them. Naruto cursed, shit, I missed him. He replaced himself with a Doden Bunshin. Then, using his acute senses, Naruto stopped Orochimaru's Kusanagi from slashing him, saying, You will not get Sasuke, you pedophile. This is bad, I am tired from fighting with those demons and Echidna, and he was mainly toying with Sasuke and Sakura. Orochimaru said with an evil laugh, I don't want Sasuke, I want his eyes. His eyes hold absolute power in them and so do your blood. Naruto and Orochimaru split up and launched at each other once more, matching blow for blow. Naruto thought, I have to get this over with or Sasuke and I are doomed. As she hurried through the trees, Anko, the snake princess, thought, how could I have been so foolish as to fail to recognize that uncanny tongue of his? Why is he taking this test? He was definitely here, she thought as she paused to examine a rotting snake. Let me make it in time. She heard a loud noise a few yards away. The Namikaze. Sparta, Naruto, gasped in effort as Orochimaru uttered, What's wrong, Naruto.kun? Naruto said. Go blow yourself away, you pathetic excuse of a Michael Jackson impersonator. I thought you were going to kill me. Your appearance is a disgrace to his reputation. Orochimaru frowned. How dare you disparage my reputation? A kunai was hurled at Naruto after Orochimaru thrust Kusanagi in his direction. Anko approached him as he turned around. Shit, I'll have to play with you later, but first, a present from me. Orochimaru's neck stretched out to bite the Uchiha in the neck before Naruto could register anything. No, yelled Anko. You're a jerk. Sasuke froze for a second before he began to scream in agony as she threw a kunai at her master, causing him to shunshin as her voice echoed. Sasuke.kun will seek me out for power. Kun Sasuke. Sakura, who was kneeling beside him, yelled, what's going on with you? You will not escape, Orochimaru, yelled Anko as he followed Orochimaru. Sakura was left crying and alone as Naruto struggled to stand up, thinking, I can't move. He then blacked out and collapsed to the ground. Team Guy. Neji stated, all right, we've already spent a day looking for food and water, and the sun should be up in less than an hour. Most teams should be sleeping right now, so go scouting and we'll be back here in half an hour. Lee and Tenten said, hi. Sakura. Sasuke's head was covered with a wet woolen fleece. He is breathing normally, but his fever is still strong. Sakura then turned to Naruto and said, and Naruto. He is still asleep from that fight. To think that he is this strong, maybe stronger than Sasuke. I have to give my life to keep them safe until they get better. Dosu laughed when he said, hey, found them and like Orochimaru. Sama said we attack Uchiha Sasuke. The sound trio had hidden in the bushes and discovered the injured Team 7. Sakura threw a kunai at the squirrel to scare it into the woods, but Zaku said, but Orochimaru. Sama didn't say anything about the other two, so we can kill them. Okay, she is smart, but weak and that will be her downfall. The three of them left the woods in the clearing, causing Sakura to gasp in fear. Wake up Sasuke now, so we can fight him, Dosu insisted. What are you talking about? Do you want to fight him? Sakura flinched and quickly reached for her holster. What does Orochimaru want, since I know he is pulling the strings? That strange mark on his neck, what is it? She yelled. This new information surprised the three of them. I wonder what that man is doing, Dosu pondered. But hearing that, I am afraid that we are going to have to kill you and Sasuke, Zaku said, licking the edge of his kunai. Dosu stopped him and raised her trap as he was about to move forward, saying, nice try, but you need to make your traps less noticeable. Launch an assault. Sakura smiled and drew a line behind her, causing a huge log to swing in front of them as the three sound genin charged forward. As he hurled his metal gauntlet forward to puncture a hole in the center, Dosu sneered. That was pathetic, weaklings like you never should go against us, Zaku yelled. A fresh cries were heard abruptly. Konoha Senpu. The three of them were kicked out by the figure. What? Lee. Sakura uttered those words. Dosu produced his earth scroll and handed it to Zaku, saying, you get Sasuke, while Lee remarked, I told you already, I will protect you with my life always. You just stand there while I deal with Kin and Spandex Freak. I can't play around here, I am at a disadvantage, I got to use the lotus. Kin frowned at Dosu, who charged at Lee, but Lee ducked his blow and kicked him away. Lee started to unroll a portion of his bandages, and Dosu flew at him before Lee vanished from view. What the devil? Oh shit, he can't protect himself like that. Zaku made hand signals as Lee abruptly appeared in front of him and kicked him high into the air before pushing himself up to appear behind him and draping him in the bandages. Where did he? Lee said abruptly. Grab this. Renge Omit. Before Dosu's head touched the ground, Zaku buried his hands in the ground and grinned, saying, hey, made in time. Lee's eyes widened as Dosu pulled himself up off the ground and said, my turn. Damn it, my body hasn't recovered yet. Dosu lunged at him, swinging his right arm, but Lee was able to dodge him. Your taijutsu may be at high speed, but our moves go at the speed of sound. Lee grinned, but the grin vanished a few seconds later when he vomited. Then Lee saw that his right ear was bleeding. You can't avoid my attacks. There's a little trick here, Lee said. You can avoid my fist, but you can't avoid the sound. You lose your balance when it reaches and damages the inner ear membrane. You'll be immobile for some time. You were doing so well, but you failed, Zaku said, taking his hands off the ground. I can control sonic waves and air pressure with my jutsu. Yours is not as good as ours. Now you. Dosu turned to Sakura, but Lee stopped him and yelled, Konoha Senpu. When Lee's right ear decided to act out, Dosu was able to block his attack. Dosu used his chakra to direct his melody arm into Lee's damaging ear, causing it to vibrate. Lee sank to the ground and screamed in agony, saying, "Now to put an end to this." Dosu yelled as he prepared to kill Lee, and Sakura yelled back, "You think so?" She threw kunai and Dosu blocked them with his gauntlet. She attacked again, but this time Zaku moved in front of them and blasted them away. Sakura looked shocked, but then she was yanked back from her feet by her hair courtesy of Kin. "Kin, I told you not to move," Dosu yelled. Kin shot back, "Hey, you mean I got the girl?" Sakura thought, "No, I will not let them do this. I have always been protecting and not able to do anything to help. This time I will protect them." Zaku said, "Shut up and hold her still while I kill Sasuke." Sakura took out a kunai and chopped off her hair, shocking Lee, the Sound Trio, and a few other speculators. "You guys can keep an eye on my back this time." Sakura gave it some serious thought. "Kin. Murder her," Zaku yelled. Sakura kawaramied and went for Zaku, hurling kunai at him as Kin attempted to crash into her. "Die! Zankuha!" yelled Zaku. Sakura used the Kawarimi no Jutsu once more, and Kin barely shifted out of the way as her kunai flew back at her. Sakura then materialized above him. "Is that all you know?" Zaku sneered. "This is pointless." She was pierced by the kunai he threw at her. Stuck in Sakura's scheme, Zaku was unaware until Sakura landed a kunai on him, blocking it with his forearm before Sakura used her mouth to grab his next arm. "Ah, let go of me." Zaku repeatedly punched her in the head while screaming. Sakura let go and was knocked off balance. "You little bitch." Then Team 10 hurried onto the scene in front of Sakura and Zaku after Zaku yelled, pointing his hands at her. "Ino," Sakura said, and Ino responded, "Hey, I can't have you show me up now, can I, Sakura?" "But we can't beat these guys," Shoji said, glancing at Shikamaru and Ino. "Of course, you can't, fat ass," said Zaku. Shoji's eye twitched. "Say that again." Shikamaru grinned inwardly. That word is taboo for Choji. I hope he said it twice. "Of course," Zaku grinned. "You can't, fat ass. I'm not fat, I'm chubby." Choji yelled. Choji shouted, "Baika no Jutsu," as he stepped toward Zaku. Choji then yelled, "Nikuden Sensha," as his body grew out of proportion. With blinding speed, his head, arms, and legs slid inside and rolled in Zaku's direction. "What the hell kind of jutsu is this?" Zankuha. When the air pressure caused Choji to bounce up in the air, Dosu hurried to assist his teammate but discovered that he was immobile. Shikamaru exclaimed, "Hey, Kageme no Jutsu success." Zaku had to dodge the human boulder before Ino yelled, "Shintenshin no Jutsu." "Okay. Now stop or I will kill your teammate. Leave your scroll and move away until I don't sense your chakra anymore," Ino said after Kin was caught in his jutsu. As the sound nin shot at her, Zaku and Dosu grinned and said, "Hey, what gives you the impression that we are interested in her?" "So your jutsu only lasts 5 minutes, time to end this once and for all," Zaku remarked, as Shikamaru's shadow separated from Dosu's. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," a fresh voice said. "And why not?" Dosu responded. "Do you want any?" Tenten remarked, "Because of those two, especially the bleached blonde one," as everyone turned to gaze at him and Neji in the tree. Sakura turned to see Sasuke covered in purple, tainted chakra and black markings, while Naruto was glowing an unsettling yellow. "All right, Sakura, who did this to you?" Dosu thought. "He actually survives the cursed seal," as Sasuke said. Zaku said, "We succeeded," Dosu yelled, "You fool." Zaku chose to attack Team 7 instead of listening, saying, "Zankukyokuha," as Sasuke struck Zaku with a backfist to the head. Naruto moved in front of Sakura and took the brunt of the blow. Sasuke yelled, "Kaden. How Senka no Jutsu," as he flipped through hand signals. "Hey, I'll just blow them away." Zaku chuckled. Zankuha. However, that was a mistake on his part because Zaku was cut to ribbons and shuriken were discovered hidden in the flames. "You seem so proud of these arms, allow me to relieve them from you." Sasuke then proceeded to slide and materialize behind him, holding Zaku's arms until they snapped. The Uchiha turned to Dosu and said, "I hope you are more of a challenge." Sasuke moved toward Dosu, but Naruto appeared in front of him and slammed his fist into Sasuke's gut. Zaku screamed as he fell down, unconscious from the pain. Naruto turned his gaze on Dosu and said, "Leave your scroll and take them with you or I will kill you." Dosu dropped his earth scroll and took the unconscious Kin and Zaku with him as Sasuke keeled over, the marks fading back into the seal. Naruto fell to the ground as the glow on his face vanished. "What was that?" Kasumi remarked. "It must have been your devil trigger, but it was not complete," while Naruto pondered. "It appears that witnessing a friend in danger served as the catalyst." "Well, I hope it kicks without anyone getting hurt," Naruto said. Sakura, Naruto, are you guys okay? Ino yelled. This is a drag, but Ino. Look after Lee, Shikamaru remarked. Turning to Sakura, Naruto grinned and said, Hey, Sakura, nice haircut, it looks good on you. After grinning, Sakura said, Thanks, Naruto. Neji pondered, were those two so powerful? Their chakras weren't human. Naruto said, What scroll do you guys need, Shikamaru? Sakura said, Damn, we only have one. Shikamaru replied, Heaven. That's where you're wrong. Naruto grinned. Do you recall when I went to return to nature? I was attacked from behind by a ninja, but I defeated him and took an additional heaven scroll from him. When Shikamaru caught the scroll in midair, Tenten leapt down to them and asked, Are you alright, Naruto-kun? He grinned and said, I'm fine, Ten-chan. Tenten gently shook Lee awake and said, Let's check up on Lee. Tenten. Why are you here? Lee muttered. Tenten retorted, Sasuke and Naruto drove the sound ninjas away, and we came to save you. But why did you deviate from the plan? Sakura was in trouble, so Lee said. With a nod, the weapons mistress said, I understand, Lee. Sakura replied, Thanks, Lee, thanks to you, I have awakened and become a little stronger now. Looks like I need to work harder, but Sakura, the lotus blooms twice, Lee said, bowing his head. I'll be twice as strong when we next meet. After giving him a warm smile, Sakura said, Yeah, I'm sure you will be, Lee-san. As he stared at him, Neji thought, Uchiha and Uzumaki are formidable opponents. Naruto picked up Sasuke and said, Sakura, let's go before we encounter any more obstacles. Stop staring at me, pervert, said Naruto, catching the stare. Since I know your Byakugan can see through clothing, I don't swing your way. Everyone, especially Tenten, stared at Naruto for making fun of the Hyuga genius, and after Neji scowled at him, Naruto gave him the finger. Team 10 and 7 moved to the tower as Tenten grabbed Lee and leapt off after Neji said, Let's go. Tower. Both teams arrived at the tower and went to a sign. After Sakura read the sign to them, Shikamaru remarked, It is telling us to open the scrolls now. The scrolls smothered to reveal Iruka and Asuma, who said, Hey, guys, it seems that you are a day early. They threw the scrolls away after opening them. Hey, Iruka. Sensei, what are you doing here? Said Naruto. Iruka is here to congratulate you on passing the exam, and I'm here for you three, Asuma said, puffing on his cigarette. Hokage. Sama asked you to come talk about what happened to you. Sakura and Naruto were presented to the Hokage. Sarutobi exclaimed, Hello, Naruto. Sakura. Sup. Jiriaya-san. Replied Naruto, grinning. Sakura hit his head. Naruto, show the Hokage some respect. Sarutobi responded, It is alright. Sakura, me and Naruto have a deeper relationship than Hokage and subordinate, plus it's a habit of his. With his chin resting on his clasped hands, the Hokage said, Tell me what happened in the forest. Sakura continued, We were in the forest when a blast of wind blew us away. Naruto was blasted further away since he was in the middle of the blast. Then this creepy guy named Orochimaru came to us, disguised as a kunoichi from Kusa. He attacked us with snakes. Then Naruto appeared and fought him off, but he seems fatigued from a previous fight and then the proctor came. But Orochimaru did something with his head and bit Sasuke on the neck, leaving a strange mark near his shoulder. Then he ran off with the proctor pursuing him. What happened to you? The Hokage asked Naruto. Looking, Naruto called forth Gilgamesh and asked, Does this answer your question, Oji-san? Says Sarutobi. Already, Naruto replied, Yep, but she was crazy and fast. Hell, I had trouble keeping up with her and she was always mouthing about her forest and her children, but I managed to kill her and gain this. Sakura asked, What are you two talking about in Naruto? How did you do that? Naruto responded, Sakura, I want you to keep this a secret. The only ones who know are Oji-san, Kakashi, Sensei, and Orochimaru. Fine, said Sakura. Naruto replied, For starters, my name is not Naruto Uzumaki. It is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Sparta, the son of the fourth Hokage. You are the fourth son, exclaimed Sakura. Naruto replied, Not only that, but the Kyuubi is not dead. My father had no choice but to seal it into a newborn baby, someone who he could trust. Startled, Sakura uttered, So, you were the, Naruto replied, Yes, I am the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune and that is not all. I am also a human. Devil hybrid, granting me a high pain tolerance, instant regeneration of wounds, and this. Naruto concentrated and his arm produced the Devil Bringer. This arm allows me to shoot an extended version of my hand to punch, grab, or throw objects bigger than myself. When I was blown away from you guys, I had killed Orochimaru's snake. Then a barrier appeared and I was forced to fight some demons. After I defeated them, one of the devil arms that my mother released and secluded in appeared. Echidna the she viper attacked me. I won and she gave me Gilgamesh after she disappeared. Sakura responded, so all those beatings were because of the sealed fox. I am so ashamed that I listened to my mother, I'm so stupid. Naruto replied, Sakura, you are not stupid, your mother is the only stupid one here. You had no choice, but to obey your parents and I don't blame for it. I forgave you a long time ago. Sakura wept, Thank you, Naruto. Naruto turned to face Sarutobi with sorrow. If Orochimaru is here, he must be after Sasuke's Sharingan, and he knows my heritage, so my blood is his secondary ambition, Naruto said after Sakura had dried her tears. You have to cancel the exams. Sarutobi responded, unfortunately, I can't do that. When Enko was found, he told her that he didn't want the Chuunin exams to be cancelled or else he would harm the village. So we will give him what he wants. Also I think you better be careful since Orochimaru and your father have a history, Naruto.san. Naruto and Sakura bowed and left the room after Naruto said, don't worry, Oji.san. I will be careful and now we need to go and start the rest of the exam. You also be careful since you and Orochimaru have a mutual history together, after all, he was your former student. Orochimaru, this time, I will finish it for the both of us, Sarutobi thought. Enko yelled into the headset, first off, congratulations on passing the exam, in the arena. But for 21 people to make it this far, especially that group with the bleached blonde-haired kid. I was expecting to only have single digits. She thought, looking at the teams. Then Guy said, your team isn't too bad at all, Kakashi, but as long as my team is around, their chances are slim. Kakashi turned to face Guy and said, damn you, Kakashi, you're so cool and it really gets on my nerves. Oh, sorry, did you say something? Kakashi looked at Guy. Enko replied, Hokage. Sama will now explain the third test, so listen carefully. The floor is yours, Hokage. Sama. The genin awoke at the Hokage's words and nodded, saying, thank you, Enko. First, I congratulate you on passing the second part of this exam. Before we begin, I would like to inform you about the true reason of this exam. True reason? Sakura asked herself. Why do we have all the allied countries taking the exam together? Sarutobi rhetorically responded, to promote friendship among the countries, to raise the level of shinobi. Please don't be confused with these sugar-coded words. This exam is, Tenten pondered, is. Sarutobi went on, as a technical war between the allied countries. With the exception of Gaara, Shino, and Kabuto's team, every genin was taken aback. Tenten asked, wait, just what does that mean? Sarutobi thought, if we were to go back in time, the allied countries were all enemies. To preserve peace, the Chuunin exam selection was born to solve the problem. Kiba yelled, why the hell we have to do that shit? Is this for deciding Chuunin? Replied, yes, that is correct, but also this exam has another side. You are risking your own lives to fight for your respected village's prestige. The ones watching the exam will be leaders and influential individuals, also each daimyo will be there to watch you fight. If you are considered weak, the country will lose clients and vice versa. It also sends a political message to other countries to show their strength. Lee yelled, but, why do we have to risk our lives in battle? Replied, the strength of the country relies on the strength of the village. In turn, the strength of the village lies within the strength of the shinobi and the strength of the shinobi is at its peak when in danger. It is to show off your own strength, which only has meaning when your life is at risk. That's why those who came before you have fought in the Chuunin exam for this dream that is meaningful. Tenten replied, but, why do you say stuff about this exam being for friendship? The Hokage responded, like I said, I don't want you to confuse this purpose. By losing life and establishing balance, this is the shape of friendship in the world of the shinobi. Now before we begin the third test, I will tell you one more thing. This is not just a test. This is a battle with your dreams and your country's prestige on the line. Gaara responded, can you hurry up and tell us what this life-risking battle entails? Sarutobi responded, by all means, Hayate.san. The Hokage said, hi, I'd like to now explain the third test now, but, a sickly looking Jonin then interrupted, saying, actually, cough, I would like you to allow me, Gecko Hayate, as a referee. After rising from his kneeling position, Hayate turns to face the genin and says, hello everyone, this is Hayate. Before the third test, there is something that I would like you to do. Hayate remarked, It's a preliminary for the third test to decide who gets to participate in the main event. Naruto raised an eyebrow at him, saying, "What the hell? This dude looks so sick, but I am guessing that he is using that look for people to underestimate him." Softly, Sakura exclaimed, "Preliminaries." Shikamaru yelled, "The hell does that mean?" Hayate was coughing, "Simple, there is too many of you since the first and second test has been way too easy for you guys. According to the rules, we must have a preliminary and reduce the number of the participants. As Hokage, Sama said, there are many guests here, so the fights will take too long. If those of you feel like quitting may do so now. I'm going to quit, Kabuto said, raising his hand. What are you? Wait, he smells like snakes, must be in league with Orochimaru, but how can I alert Sarutobi.og.san? Naruto thought suspiciously as everyone turned to face him. Kasumi responded, let me take over Naruto, I know some of the Anbu sign language used by him. The only ones who should recognize it will be Orochimaru if he is there and Kakashi. Naruto gave up control and nodded, letting Kasumi make hand signals that indicated the Hokage was surprised but reacted right away. He returned the sign, saying, acknowledged, thanks. After witnessing the Hokage nod to 3 squads to capture Kabuto, Naruto quickly regained control. 3 squads would be sufficient to defeat Kabuto because, given what we know about Orochimaru, he must be a formidable foe. Sasuke watched Kabuto move until a wave of pain pulsed through the seal. Anyone else want to retire? I forgot that this will be one-on-one fighting, so you can raise your hand on your own decision. He thought, damn it. The waves are more frequent. With tears in her eyes, Sakura retorted, but I don't want to see you suffer in front of me. Sasuke responded, shut up, this has nothing to do with you, so stay out of my business. Sakura whispered, Sasuke, that mark hurts still, you need to quit and rest. The Uchiha spoke softly, Sakura, this isn't a test to me, I don't care if I become a Chuunin. I just want to know if I am strong and prove myself against strong guys, which are scattered around here in this exam. Naruto responded, idiot, you are already strong, not strong enough to beat Itachi. Even with all the jutsu in the world, you won't be able to beat Itachi with hatred. Sasuke yelled at Naruto, but the spar, even with that cursed seal, you won't touch him. Only time, dedication, mastering your jutsu and using your head will defeat your brother, not copying jutsu and using them without any knowledge of its effects will kill you. Also using the cursed seal may give you a boost, but affects your judgment of right and wrong. So if you even think of using that seal and hurt anyone here, I will personally kill you without regrets. Naruto said, adding a sarcastic tone to the phrase. Smirking, Sasuke said, I got it, Dobi. With a smile, Naruto said, you are still so stubborn, Teme. Said Hayate, let's begin the preliminary matches. The matches will consist of one-on-one fighting, you will fight as if you are in a real-life confrontation. Since we have 20 entrants now, we will have 10 matches exactly and obviously the winners will advance to the next match. The Jonin went on. The rules are, there are no rules. The fight will continue until you die or give up the match. If you don't want to die, then quickly acknowledge your defeat. But when I decide that the winner is declared, since we don't want to pointlessly increase the number of corpses, I will jump in and stop the match, and the object that controls your destiny is this. Naruto said, the thing that controls our destiny is a big-ass screen television, that's fucking hilarious. Hayate replied, this screen will show the match ups for each battle. Now let's start the first match. The first match, Sasuke Uchiha vs Yoro Ikato, was displayed when the screen flashed. Naruto whispered, TCH, I had a feeling that they would do that. Naruto rolled his eyes and turned to Sakura as Sasuke remarked, what can I say? The best is always first. The unexpected choice left her feeling conflicted, saying, no way, right off the bat, Sasuke-kun has to fight. They both nodded when Hayate asked, will everyone except the 2 entrants please exit the stage? Are you 2 ready? Naruto whispered, he will be alright, Sakura. A wave of pain made Sasuke's eye twitch, and Sakura whispered, I hope so, the seal is acting up again. Lee thought, good luck, Sasuke. Yoro thought, hey, it seems that Orochimaru Sama's seal still hurts him. Neji gave him a serious look and said, a chance to watch his abilities. As Kakashi passed by, he said, Sasuke, I know about the cursed seal, and just so you know, if it activates, I will stop the match. Sasuke thought, shit, I can't use Sharingan or my normal jutsu. Oh good, I didn't miss anything yet. Looks like Yoroi is fighting Sasuke-kun. That is most unfortunate, that is the worst fighter for him with the cursed seal on him. Orochimaru thought in silence as he appeared as a Jonin. Hayate exclaimed, "Now, begin." Yoroi made the Tora sign. "Are you ready?" His left hand reached into his pouch, while his right hand glowed brightly with chakra. Sasuke's hand went to his holster. When Yoroi flicked them at the Uchiha, the projectiles were redirected at him by the Uchiha's overhand kunai strike. Sasuke then collapsed to the ground as the seal decided to throb. Yoroi recognized the chance and took action by approaching Sasuke. The Uchiha rolled to the side and slammed the kunai point into the ground as he aimed his right hand to smash Sasuke's head. He then used his feet to trip Yoroi and forced him into a wrestling move that threatened to break his arm. However, Yoroi's hand seized Sasuke's shirt, and Sasuke quickly felt his strength ebbing. When he lost his hold on Yoroi's arm, Yoroi elbowed Sasuke in the stomach before flipping over and kneeling. Sakura yelled in alarm as the strange ninja approached the fallen Avenger. What was that? My strength just suddenly, Sasuke thought. The Uchiha started to feel weaker and weaker as Sasuke looked up to see Yoroi's chakra. Infused hand clamped on his head. My chakra, exclaimed Sasuke. So you finally noticed, it's about time, Yoroi said with a laugh. Orochimaru pondered. Yoroi's special ability is that he can suck chakra, rendering the person useless and weak by a touch of his hand. When he sucks all of your chakra, you will have no choice but to release the cursed seal. Now unleash its beautiful power. Damn, said Sasuke, shifting his leg to support it against Yoroi. After being kicked and skidding away, Yoroi charged once more, and Sasuke ducked his hand swipes. So, it seems that you still have power left? Yoroi asked. Yoroi leapt over and landed away from Sasuke as he aimed a roundhouse kick at him. Gaara pondered, is that all you have, Uchiha Sasuke? Sasuke thought frantically, if he tries to touch me one more time, I am done for and he will try to get in close combat with me. What do I do? When Sasuke saw Naruto and Lee on the balcony, he thought, that's it, I know what to do. Naruto laughed, wow, Sasuke, this is pathetic of you. Is this the best you can do? Yoroi shouted, it's over, Uchiha, as she charged at Sasuke. However, everyone was taken aback by Sasuke's subsequent move, particularly Lee, as he employed the same move on him. Snarling to himself, Naruto said, bastard, copying Lee's move without permission. When the Uchiha prodded him in the back, the opposing ninja recognized the move and exclaimed, Kage Buyu. Sasuke emerged behind Yoroi and said, though from here, it's all original from here. Said, it's over. The seal now decided to act out, and his body was covered in marks. I will not allow this thing to devour me, he thought, forcing the cursed seal back with his will. The seal is coming back, Enko thought in disbelief. As Sasuke pushed off of Yoroi's back and kicked Yoroi in the right side, Orochimaru frowned at the situation. Sasuke grimaced and used the momentum of his kick to aim a punch at his exposed left side, but Yoroi blocked it and sneered, not enough. Yoroi's head snapped downwards when Kakashi said, not enough, But Sasuke refused to back down. Get your ass back here, the Uchiha yelled as he caught his opponent in the chest with his right arm. As he yelled, there's more, Renden. Sasuke turned to kick Yoroi in the chest before he hit the ground. Yoroi's head snapped upward to cough up blood, knocking him out cold. Sasuke slid sideways and then stopped dead in his tracks. Then, as Hayate announced, winner, Uchiha Sasuke. The Uchiha fought to stand up. Kakashi used his foot to catch Sasuke as he fell backward. He did it, Sakura said with a smile. Naruto replied, well, the Teme is a stubborn one, of course, he was going to win, though he could have asked permission to copy Lee's technique. Lee pondered, I see, so that's your ability. You were able to copy only a part of my technique by seeing it once. What a person you are, Sasuke, you will get stronger and stronger. Naruto glanced at Lee and took a mental note. Note to self. Make a seal that blocks the Sharingan's ability to copy. Guy pondered. Mastering a part of the lotus is impossible without proper training. Even with the Sharingan, it is not something that can be perfected that quickly, and the creativity of his move, he reminds me of you, Kakashi. As the screen flashed to reveal the next match, Tenten thought, I wonder which one is stronger, the rookie from last year, Neji Hyuga, and this year's rookie, Sasuke Uchiha. Kakashi said, now let's get that curse sealed up now. Sasuke said, can you wait until the prelims are over? I want to observe the matches. Kakashi said, don't worry, I'm sure your teammates and I will tell you all about them and their techniques. Tenten shunshined away. Who the hell is this loser? This will be easier than I thought. Hayate coughed, will. Cough. Abumi Zaku and. Cough. Aburame Shino, please come down. Zaku replied. Shino walked silently down the stairs to the arena. Well, Shino wins this round, Naruto said, leaning against the wall. Sakura glanced at him. How do you know? The match hasn't started yet. Naruto glanced at her. Don't underestimate Shino. Sakura, he may not look much, but I can tell he is hiding something, plus he thinks on his feet logically. Sakura noticed that Zaku's arms were still in a sling when she glanced at them. That's true, that sound nin is the one that Sasuke-kun broke his arms. If he fights like that, he will be at a complete disadvantage, she was thinking to herself. Hayate yelled, Hajime. Shino said in a monotone to Zaku, if you fight here, you will never fight again, it's best if you forfeit. Hinata asked, is what Naruto-kun said is true? Kiba nodded, yeah, he's right. Shino is one of the guys I wouldn't want to fight at all. It seems that this one can move a bit, but I only need one arm to kick your weird ass. Zaku's left arm twitched a little and he started to move. He flew at Shino, but the Aburame brought his arm to block his blow. And Zaku swore, damn it. Zaku responded, shut the fuck up, take this, as his hand opened to reveal his air hole. Zankuha. The blow struck Shino squarely in the head, causing him to roll on the ground while smoking. Shino retorted, it is useless, you can't beat me with just one arm. Hee. Zaku grinned and said, hey, get your ass up. Shino got up gradually and disclosed something that upset Zaku a little. The Auto Nin observed that Shino had actual bugs crawling under his skin. Zaku thought, what the? He has bugs from inside his body. Then he turned to see an army of bugs behind him after hearing a lot of noises. Zaku scowled at him for putting him in this situation. Shino clarified, they're called Kakaichu bugs. They attack in numbers and consume chakra. Like I said, if this many behind you get you, you'll never be a ninja ever again. If you don't want that, then you should give up. You should always save your trump card at the last minute, Shino said, pushing up his shades. If you decide to attack me with your arm, then the bugs will get you, and if you attack my bugs, I attack you. Zaku swore aloud. As memories of his encounter with Orochimaru flashed through his mind, Zaku thought, I can't continue to fail. Zaku yelled, don't mess with me. He pulled out his right arm and exclaimed, hey, you should always have a trump card at the last moment, right? What? He can use his right arm too, exclaimed Kiba. Zaku yelled, take this, Dosu thought, so it was all an act that his right arm was completely useless. Hey, good one, Zaku. His arms suddenly collapsed, and one of them hit the floor. Zaku watched in disbelief as Kakaichu emerged from the air tubes. I sent some of them to close your dangerous air holes with their bodies when I told you to give up. That is a true trump card, Shino said, approaching from behind Zaku. You bastard! Zaku yelled. The Aburame ducked and gave Zaku a backhand, according to Hayate, Shosha, Aburame Shino. Kakashi said, Fuja Hoin, and put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder, causing the marking around him to appear on his body and encircle the cursed seal. Don't worry, it will be over soon. Sasuke collapsed, exhausted and unconscious, saying, now that seal depends on your willpower. Sasuke, if your will waver for even a second, that seal will run wild. So you can use sealing jutsu now, huh, Kakashi? That voice, Kakashi's single eye widened, and he slowly turned to face Orochimaru. You mind handing the boy behind you? Kakashi responded, what do you want with Sasuke? Orochimaru replied, the same thing that you have implanted in your left eye, you should understand after that. Then I will come for the Sparta blood. Kakashi responded, you will never get Naruto or Sasuke, I see that one of them did quite a number on you. Orochimaru grumbled, yes, the Sparta boy I underestimated did this scar on my face and arms. Soon my village, Otto, will become great, but I can't get that without using a couple of pawns. Kakashi responded, Sasuke and Naruto are just one of those pawns. Orochimaru responded, oh no. Sasuke is a very important piece, but Naruto can be discarded depending on the situation, and the guys taking the test are also my pawns. If you try to get either one, Orochimaru, I will kill you. I don't care if you are a Sannin, Kakashi said, charging up his rakery. It won't work, Kakashi. Sasuke will eventually come to me to seek power. After all, he is an avenger, Orochimaru chuckled. The snake Sannin left Kakashi with a picture of his head being severed. Hayate announced, next match is Masumi Tsurugi versus Kankuro. In the arena. And we will jump ahead to the conclusion of the match between Ino and Sakura. You did well, Sakura, for a kunoichi that start with no brains at all. You actually got stronger, but you still have a long way to go. Naruto was still leaning against the wall. Okay, We have Sasuke, Shino, and make up boy. Shino, I can beat with my demonic chakra easily. Sasuke, just rile him up and he is down for the count. Make up, maybe be a tough one since I don't know if that is just all his skills. Hayate responded, 5th match. Kiba Inazaka vs Tamari. Will the contestants please come to the arena? Naruto pondered, now this match will be close. Kiba is a close-range fighter while Tamari-chan is a long-range fighter due to that giant fan of hers. As long as Kiba keeps his cool and or doesn't insult Tamari, he should be fine. Kiba said, hell yeah, we got an easy one. This girl can't beat us, Akamaru, she must be weak. Inwardly, Tamari and the Kunoichi were fuming with rage, with the exception of Hinata and Kurenai, who palmed their faces. Naruto shivered, I stand corrected, he is so screwed. Tamari mused, oh. His ass is mine now. That look reminds me of Yugo-chan before she kicked those ANBU's ass when she was recruited the first time, that boy is screwed. Hayate thought, fearfully, as he saw the look in her eye. The Jonin uttered the words, begin, before breaking for cover. Tamari yelled, Kamaitaichi no Jutsu. Without any delay. Kiba was screaming uncontrollably while trapped in the tornado. Then Tamari strode off, and he collapsed to the ground. W. Winner. T. Tamari. When Naruto saw Shikamaru vs Kintsuchi on the screen, he shook his head and said, idiot, I even know the famous quote, heaven has no rage like love to hatred turned nor hell a fury like a woman scorned. Dosu mouthed, Kin. You might as well give up, and you can't win against him. Kin frowned at him as she descended the stairs, and Naruto turned to face them. Shikamaru replied, man, this is annoying, why the hell I have to fight a girl for? Naruto pondered. Shikamaru may be lazy, but he will find some way to get around her defenses, but that was not the way to treat your teammate, maybe she might cross over if I can convince her over to this side. After declaring Shikamaru the winner, Kin suffered a concussion after he trapped her in his Kagemain no Jutsu and struck her head against the wall while miming the jutsu. Now the next match is Naruto Uzumaki vs Tenten Senzuki. Said Hayate. It's showtime, come on, Naruto said, leaning off the wall and flipping over the railing. Tenten approached Naruto and said, geez, you are such a show-off, Naruto. Naruto smiled and said, hey, you know, I like to impress people. Tenten replied with a grin, just because you are friends with my uncle doesn't mean I will hold back on you. Naruto took Yamato out of its scabbard and remarked, I don't expect you to, Ten-chan. With stars in her eyes, Tenten remarked, nice sword, Okatana is rare these days. Hayate yelled, ready, fight, and leapt away. A red barrier materialized as soon as the Jonin swordsman reached the arena's edge. The weapon mistress nodded, and Naruto responded, well, let's just say that there are people who have some issues with my father and decided to take it out on me instead. Tenten said, I take it that this is not a jutsu of some sort. Naruto shook his head, no, remember my heritage. Prides and an unidentified demon entered the scene as Anko yelled, Hokage. Sama, we need to get them out of there. Sarutobi silenced her by raising his hand and saying, don't worry, Anko, they will be fine. Just watch, they are much stronger than you know. Those are scarecrows, Naruto. Nero yelled in Naruto's mind, they are not very smart, but they are agile. Dante gazed at Tenten through Naruto's eyes and thought, damn it, why is her appearance and attitude so familiar to me? It is eating me up, just looking at her. Who are you, Senzuki Tenten? Hey, Tenten, catch, said Naruto after sheathing Yamato and removing loose and Umbra. Tenten skillfully gripped the guns and asked, why do these feel right in my hands? I feel like I know them from somewhere. Tenten pointed them at a scarecrow and fired at it. The scarecrow fell to the ground, dead. The Sparta asked her, how did you know how to fire those? Those guns are not like kunai and you seem to be familiar with them. Naruto pulled out ebony and ivory and stood behind her. Naruto turned to her and bowed, may I have this dance, my lady? Tenten responded, I don't know why, but I like it. Tenten laughed, look at you, always joking in the face of danger, I accept. Tenten and Naruto then started performing a makeshift tango position, shooting the people in front of them before turning around. Tenten and Naruto whirled around, chasing the demons away. Subsequently, Naruto released her as she whirled on the tips of her foot, intentionally hitting both scarecrows and prides in the head while he stood motionless, observing her. Naruto then shot those who were going to encircle Tenten as he bounded and jumped elegantly in her direction. After he kicked a pride in the air and then shot it into the air, Naruto remarked, you are a nice dancer. Thanks, you were pretty good too, Tenten said as she flipped toward Naruto. shooting the ones beneath her and landing next to him. You know, what do y'all say, if I take you out, when this preliminary is over, there is a jazz club nearby, and we can dance, without the demons, I might add. The Namikaze grinned at her and shot a demon at each pause. Hinata thought, What, he is asking her on a date. I am too late. Tenten responded, I am honored, and I accept your offer. Tenten said, agreed. They sprang apart, and Tenten returned his guns as she unsealed a katana. Naruto said, pick you up, at 7. After biting his thumb, Naruto unleashed rebellion. Plays, He's a Pirate, remixes, A.N. I've updated my page with the link. Let's go! Exclaimed Naruto. They were hacked to pieces by Tenten and Naruto. Wow, they're good, they coordinated their movements perfectly, interlacing over each other. It is like they know each other for a long time. Sakura reflected. Kakashi responded, I have never seen attacks that well organized and precise. Neji was speechless. Tenten has never been able to coordinate with us that well, it's like she is a new person altogether. As the dancing pair twisted and sliced the demonic forces to pieces, everyone watched. Ultimately, Tenten and Naruto leapt back while the others vanished from view. Well, that is that, Tenten said. Naruto stated gravely, no, not yet. They both heard a rumbling sound shortly after, and as they rolled away in different directions, they saw lightning leaping from the earth. When they looked up, they saw a demon with wings and tails and lightning circling its body. It was carrying a big broadsword with a winged dragon at the hilt. Its blade appears to emerge from its mouth. Alistair, but he is not supposed to have a body. When I found him, all he did was stab me in the chest and then I could control it, Dante said in shock. Then Naruto hefted rebellion over his shoulder and thought, I guess dear old mum made an effective ritual after all. In a menacing voice, the devil declared, I am Alistair. The weak shall give their heart and swear their eternal loyalty to me. Sakura yelled, Naruto, be careful. Kiba exclaimed, What the hell is that thing? With his eyes fixed on Alistair, Naruto gave her the thumbs up and said, sorry, buddy, but I am not into the whole servant thing. It is kinda boring after a while. Since you introduced yourself, I will return the favor. I am Naruto Uzumaki. I am nobody's bitch, you are mine. Naruto just insulted the demon, and everyone gaped at him. Alistair saw Tenten and snarled at him. Naruto thought, oh hell no, and hurried forward. Shine. Tenten closed her eyes in anticipation of the blow, hearing its piercing sound but not feeling any pain as Alistair flew at her and prepared to stab her. When she opened her eyes, Naruto was standing in front of Tenten and had been pierced by Alistair. Naruto, she uttered. Tenten nodded while crying as Naruto said, Mama, I can't have you dying, we still need to go on that date now, don't we? After wiping away his tears, Naruto said, Now, no crying, you are a kunoichi. Woman up and stay away from here, I will take care of Alistair. He held one hand on the broadsword. With a nod, the kunoichi stepped aside. A light surrounded Naruto and Alistair, and everyone squinted as he said, okay, bitch, there is only one thing that I hate the most and pissed me off, the fact that you just tried to kill my friend over there. Now you will pay for your insolence. And Naruto started to glow. The audience saw Alistair as the light faded, but instead of Naruto, a dark silhouette of Naruto with longer hair and cerulean eyes. Think of Kazashini from Bleach, with only the outline in yellow, emerged. Kasumi thought about it, it seems that he has finally awakened the devil within him. Naruto, what happened to you? Sakura wondered. Is this really Naruto, the dead last? Kiba asked himself. Fearfully, Dosu asked herself, just what the hell is he? Here I go! Exclaimed Naruto, and he and Alistair swung toward one another, slashing at one another. The team used rebellion to parry Alistair's thrust and flicked the blade in Alistair's chest. After Alistair ducked, Naruto materialized behind him and successfully slashed him across the chest. Stinger! Was then yelled by Naruto, who leapt forward and stabbed Alistair in the stomach. Naruto continued after Alistair dropped his sword and rose again. Naruto yelled, high time, and hurled the lightning devil skyward. And now, round trip. Naruto grabbed Rebellion and threw it at Alistair like a boomerang. Rebellion impaled him as Alistair slammed into the wall. Naruto wiped his nose with his thumb and exclaimed, and that's game, instead. Alistair collapsed, and a ball of light took his place along with his sword. It seems that I am still the weak one, you have passed your second test, take my soul and wield me well, boy. Naruto caught the flying ball in his hand. Alistair's sword took the place of the light ball. Blue. Purple electricity crackled as Naruto returned to normal and raised Alistair. In front of the audience, Naruto started practicing his sword swings before kicking it up, grabbing it, and placing it on his back, where it released a final spark. After the red barrier disintegrated, Naruto approached Tenten and seized Yamato, asking, "Are you ready to go?" But H. How did you? Tenten asked. Naruto replied, "How did I survive that blow? The trick is my bloodline allows me to heal at a rapid extent and survive fatal blows. With enough stress, I can unlock the second part, which you saw while I was fighting with Alistair. That form I can access for only one day it seems. But I can still fight, so don't hold back on me, Tenten." Tenten drew her katana and nodded. They watched them square off for a few moments, and the room fell silent. Like a silent pin drop, a drop of sweat from Kiba's brow rolled down his cheek and onto his chin before dropping to the ground. Tenten and Naruto appeared on the other side of the arena after running at each other in slow motion at that precise moment. When no one dared to disturb the stillness, Naruto's chest opened and blood spurted out in a spray-like substance. "Nice hit, Chan," murmured Naruto. Tenten's buns slowly exploded out of the rubber bands as she collapsed to the ground, whispering, "You too, Naruto-kun. That was the best time I had ever in a fight." Tenten blushed and opened her eyes, causing Naruto to gasp as he saw her bridal style. "A lady should never have their beautiful face touch the floor, and I think you should keep your hair down like this, it looks good on you," she said. "Naruto-kun, what is wrong? Your eyes. They changed color," Naruto remarked. "How so?" asked Tenten as Naruto produced a kunai knife and held it up for her to see. Tenten was shocked to see that her eyes were different colors. One was blue, and the other was red. Whispering, "Lady," Dante said. Thought to Naruto, "Who is that?" Dante stated, "Lady was my friend when Virgil and her father, Arkham, opened the gate to hell to get your ancestor's sword, Force Edge. Lady came to kill Arkham after he sacrificed his own wife and her mother for power. She followed me and Virgil. She was a daughter of a priestess, which was essential to opening the gate since the seal was made of Sparta's blood and the blood of a priestess. In the end, she killed her father after Virgil and I defeated him. Then we both became friends ever since, and she became known as the legendary demon huntress. She was in love with me and I never noticed until I was too late. I married a woman named Nora while she was heartbroken. Then she married a man named Azrael and I never heard from her since that day. To think, she has a descendant too. Tenten is the descendant of the legendary demon huntress, Lady, Naruto thought, so that's why Kua-san had the Sparta line's weapons, but is he aware of this change? After Virgil said, "Probably not, but you might have to ask him after the exams," Naruto nodded and ordered a cage Bunshin to remain in the arena while he escorted her to the hospital. Hayate stated, "Neji Hyuga vs Hinata Hyuga is the next match. This is Tenten Senzuki. She has minor lacerations on her chest and legs and a major gash on her back. Please take care of her." Naruto kicked open the door and discovered a doctor. The doctor took Tenten and placed her in a room. After observing her for a while, Naruto felt compelled to touch her smooth, tanned skin. She is quite cute when she is sleeping. Then again, all girls and women are cute when they are sleeping. I better return to the match, so I will see you later, Chan. Naruto was momentarily distracted by her smooth chin and luscious lips. Kasumi remarked, "Ah, Naru-chan got a girlfriend. That's so cute." "Shut up, Kasumi," shot back the Jinchuriki himself. "You don't have to be so mean, geez," sulked Kasumi. Naruto heard a muffled scream as he was walking down the hall. When Naruto kicked open the door after running down the hallway toward the scream, he saw a naked Kin gagged and strapped against the bed, and Zaku with his pants down. Naruto pulled out a kunai and did what all men and women do to rapists before Zaku could comprehend what had happened. He castrated Zaku's ability to get hard, give birth, or even use the restroom. "I am not letting you rape her, that is your own teammate, you son of a bitch. Now you will go to hell without the ability to produce children," Naruto yelled. Zaku said, Wait a minute," as he terrifiedly met Naruto's icy gaze. After turning around, Naruto grabbed Yamato and slashed downward before flicking it back into the sheath. After Zaku fell silent and gradually disintegrated, Naruto pressed an emergency service button and said, "Please clean up room 235. "You are safe now," Naruto said to Kin, who writhed slightly before him. Shush, it's okay. I am here to help, okay?" Naruto reassured her. The kunoichi began to whimper and scream as Naruto withdrew a kunai, but the gad muffled their voices. "Hey, shush. I am not going to hurt you, okay? Just relax, I am going to get you out of those bonds of yours, alright?" As she descended farther and farther into Naruto's oceanic pools, Kin saw nothing but sincerity and serenity in her eyes. With his eyes closed, Naruto went on to free her from her bonds. He hated seeing women raped and the Oto Kunoichi's dignity taken away from her because he was a gentleman. After wrapping her in his coat and picking her up in bridal fashion, Naruto hurried to his house through the window. A few minutes later, a nurse would enter the room to discover a missing Kunoichi, torn sheets, and bloody fragments where an ambitious boy had once been. Namikaze Complex. After Kin and Naruto entered the house, Naruto placed her on the bed, made another cage bunshin to watch, and then went to find some clothing in her mother's room. Then he entered and handed her a pair of black pants and a beige shirt. There you go, Kin. Here are some clothes and I want you to stay here because now that Zaku is dead, I fear Dosu may try to kill or worse, rape you if I leave you in the hospital. Kin nodded and blushed angrily as she undressed and put on his mother's clothes, which seemed to fit her well. Naruto said, "Good, now I want you to change here. I will turn my back so you can have some modesty, and usually girls tried to kill themselves after they have been almost raped. There, I'll have to return to the arena to watch the matches now, Kin, shall I?" Naruto uttered those words. For the first time, Kin said, "W. Why?" Turning to face her, Naruto said, "I don't understand." "Why are you being so kind to me?" asked the Kunoichi. "I mean, I attempted to murder your friends." Naruto replied, "Yes, on Orochimaru's orders. He was attempting to kill you on purpose if he knew he was going to give Sasuke that hickey of his. The last straw for me was the rape. You were also insulted and assaulted by your own teammates. If your teammate rapes a woman like you, I will not tolerate it." Kin replied, "I thought you were just keeping me here for information on Orochimaru." "That's a part of it, along with the fact that Orochimaru is taking advantage of you," Naruto stated. "You are stronger than some of the Kunoichi, primarily fangirls, so I don't think you're weak. Additionally, I believe you want to leave all of this behind, but something or someone close to you is preventing you from doing so. Who is it?" "It's Teyuya," Kin said. "She is one of Orochimaru's bodyguards, the Sound 4. I am the only one who truly knows her, and she is my only friend." "Will she be here during the invasion?" asked Naruto. For a moment, Kin froze. "How did you find out about that?" Naruto remarked, "I didn't. It appears that he will launch the invasion during the Chuunin exam finals, but he needs to be allied with a nation because he doesn't have enough forces because Oto is a new village." Naruto grinned and said, "Well, he forgot one thing. He doesn't know Naruto Uzumaki. He doesn't know who the fuck he is dealing with." Kin replied, "It is Suna. He plans to kill the Kazekage and masquerade as him to get close to the Hokage. I'll be back in a couple of hours." Naruto sighed and gave her hand a light squeeze, saying, "I have to or they might suspect something, but I will leave a cage bunshin with you." Kin took his hand and whispered, "No, please, don't leave me here alone." Naruto slowly released her hand and shunshined to the match. Match. Neji and Hinata faced each other. Neji said, "I never thought that I would be facing you." Hinata said, quietly, "Neji.ni.san." Naruto raised an eyebrow and said, "Never knew that Hinata had a brother." Kakashi responded, "That is because they aren't Naruto. They are member of the Hyuga clan, but they are not brother and sister." So then, Sakura said to the Jonin with the silver hair, "What are they?" Lee stated, "Hinata is a member of the main house, while Neji is in the branch house." Kakashi stated, "They are members of the Hyuga's main and branch houses." "So why does Neji look angry at her for?" inquired Naruto. According to Lee, many things happened between both houses and they are at odds right now. Neji will harm her cousin, but Hinata would not dare, Naruto remarked. "If he takes this seriously, it's a bad matchup." Hayate yelled, "Start!" Hinata's eyes widened and she turned to the side as Neji said, "Before we begin, I like to speak freely, Hinata. Sama. You don't make a good shinobi, forfeit the match." Neji went on, "You agree with others, never oppose, you wish for peace, and you avoid conflict. You are too kind. Given that you lack self-confidence and that the Chuunin exam could be taken in a group of 3, you couldn't refuse the request, could you?" Neji responded, "As I was thinking. You are a spoiled brat of the main family, Hinata. Sama." Hinata responded, No, I wanted to change myself, do something on my own. It is impossible for people to change. Losers will always be losers. They cannot alter their strength or personality in any way. Immediately I don't like his ass at all for saying that, Naruto thought, frowning. Differences were born and the terms loser and elite were created because people can't change, the Destiny jackass added. People evaluate and are evaluated according to appearance, intelligence, personality, ability, and size. People discriminate and are discriminated against based on these unchangeable factors, and they then suffer as a result. Similar to the fact that I was born in the branch and you in the main family. Naruto was thinking, okay, this guy is really pissing me off with this destiny shit he is spouting out of his ass. Neji responded, I can see through you with my Byakugan, you are acting strong, but really you want to run and hide. The feeble reply from Hinata was, no, I really. What is the Byakugan? Asked Sakura. It is more insightful than the Sharingan, Kakashi said. Rumor has it that the Hyuga clan is the ancestor of the Uchiha clan. As soon as Sakura saw Naruto's tone, she immediately put her hand down, thinking, it is probably true, both clans are pompous bastards anyway, and Sakura, put your goddamn hand down. Naruto is pissed for some reason, I better not bother him. Kakashi turned to face Naruto and said, Naruto, apologize to. Don't talk to me about apologizing, Naruto said, turning to face him with a look that instantly silenced the Jonin. Shut up and drop it. Neji used the Byakugan as an intimidation tactic, causing Hinata's eye to move in the upper left corner, then the lower right, and she touched her pointer finger to her mouth. I am very tired and Sakura hitting me on my head will not help me in my state, so shut up and drop it. I can see through, Neji said with a smug grin. Your eye went to the upper left, which indicates that you are recalling your traumatic past, and then to the lower right, which indicates that you are visualizing both mental and physical suffering. That is, that you are visualizing losing. When the clone nodded and scattered, the real Naruto emerged in a shunshin, saying, Tenten is in the hospital safely, okay, you are dismissed. Naruto instantly sorted through its memories and scowled at Neji, saying, this guy is your teammate. Lee, he is such an asshole to his own cousin, no less. Rising your arms in front of yourself means that you are trying to distance yourself from me because everything that I predicted was true, Neji went on, causing Hinata to flinch and raise her arms. Additionally, touching your lip is a sign of a disturbed personality. You are attempting to calm your anxiety. In other words, you haven't come to terms with the fact that you cannot alter your destiny. Everyone's attention was drawn when Naruto burst out laughing because he could take it no more. Ha 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 ha. Hinata, Neji, and the others turned to gaze at Naruto. So I guess you can't change yourself from being such an asshole, Neji, the Jinchuriki said. You see, Hinata here has changed herself. Normally, she wouldn't approach you in a fight, but she said. Because Hinata is a member of the main family, you assume she is helpless and weak. Huh. You are jealous because you were not born into the main family, which is a ridiculous excuse for bullying her. You can't see anything at all, Neji, because all you have is shit stuck in your goddamn eyes. You're so-called Byakugan is blinded. Apart from perverts, rapists, and people who read porn in public, the things that irritate me the most are haughty people who think your life was predestined by fate. You are at a dead end, Neji, and you create your own path with your choices and actions. I wanted you to kick this motherfucker's ass until next week, Hinata, regardless of whether he is your goddamn cousin. Naruto.kun, Hinata thought to herself. By Kami, he is annoying. Neji thought as she bowed her head. When the Hyuga jackass turned to face Hinata, her eyes were full of resolve. So you won't forfeit, then I will not be responsible for what happens here. Hinata thought, I won't run away anymore. The Hyuga heiress then assumed the Hyuga stance, saying, let's fight, Neji. Nissan. Both of them charged at each other as Neji slipped into the same stance, saying, fine. Lee remarked, I thought so. Their stances are similar to each other, the same Hyuga style. Sakura responded, Hyuga style? That style is the strongest taijutsu aside from the Yandaime's Senku style, Lee replied. The Fnatic remix song, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, plays. Neji and Hinata engaged in ferocious combat while captivating the audience with their lethal dance of death. Neji's knowledge and control of chakra clashed with Hinata's flexibility, with both parties attempting to gain the upper hand. Hinata then spotted a gap and directed her chakra at Neji's torso, where she found a scrape. Neji said, taking a step back and gripping his chest. As he watched her, Naruto grinned and said softly, go, Hinata, you kick his ass. Prove to him that you are not weak. According to Sakura, but she only barely hit him. Lee responded, that is the thing, a slight scratch is all it takes. That is all it needs. Sakura said, Lee.kun, explain. It may not look impressive, but you feel the after effects as the battle progresses. Hinata fought, forcing Neji to go on the defensive. The Hyuga-style taijutsu has been passed down, Guy said. The taijutsu Lee and I used, Goken, is solely for bruises and breaking bones while the Hyuga style, Juken, causes damage to the chakra network. Shino was thinking. Hinata's in control of the battle, Naruto. You actually gave her the confidence to stand up for herself, and now I am seeing the true Hinata Hyuga. Hinata, Kurenai thought. So they attacked the chakra network system, Sakura remarked. Hinata and Neji leapt back and clashed after Naruto stated, anybody can utilize this style by knowing the anatomy of the body well, but their Byakugan helps them perfect the style, since they can see the chakra network. Sakura exclaimed, did she get him? Loudly. Everyone was shocked when Hinata coughed up blood. Neji responded, so this is the extent of the main family household. Neji's eyes widened as he swiftly reacted by grabbing her arm and pressing a point, but Hinata thought, not yet, as she knocked his arm away and pointed at his head. He then revealed red, like bruises on her arms by pulling back her sleeves. No way, Hinata remarked, from the beginning, you. Hinata was knocked back in the chest and skidded a few feet away from him. Exactly, I have stopped your flow of chakra in your arms. You can no longer utilize the Jiyuken style against me. It was fated that you will lose. She had a hard time getting up. Hinata. Sama, there is a difference in talent that will never change between us. The difference that makes you the loser and me the elite. This reality cannot be changed. From the moment you said you did not want to run, you were setting yourself up for regret. You should be overcome with desperation. Forfeit. I never knew that Hinata had a personality like this, Naruto thought as he stood up, saying, I don't go back, on my word, because that is also my ninja way. She stole my nindo. Hey, go get him, Hinata. The Kyuubi jailer yelled, go get him, Hinata, show him what you can do. Sakura replied, she is like you, she was also watching you from a distance. Hinata started coughing up a lot of blood, and Naruto remarked, so that explains the blushes and stuttering. I may ask for a date after I go with Tenten. Kurenai thought frantically, she is at her limit. Any more damage and she'll. Guy thought, she can't defeat him. Neji would most likely survive this test. Kakashi said, this Neji is quite formidable. I doubt that Sasuke or Naruto will be able to beat him. Gaara watched the fight closely, knowing what was going through his unstable mind. Naruto grinned and nodded as Hinata glanced up at him. Then the heiress rushed toward her cousin. Neji blocked her arm and lifted his palm to strike her in the chin. She thought, Naruto-kun. I have always watched you for years. I don't know why, but when I look at you, I feel like I can do anything. I feel courage, I feel like I am worth something, that is how I began to feel. She charged at him after skidding back. Thought, Hinata, you used to always quit, I know better than anyone else about the tough training you put yourself into. You would fail missions and were weak when it mattered the most, eventually losing your confidence quickly. But, that child is no more because the woman I see has changed. I have always watched you, Naruto-kun, Hinata reflected, but now you are the one watching me. According to Neji, you understand nothing, your attacks have done nothing since the beginning. Hayate intervened, saying, as it seems that Hinata Hyuga can't, Naruto cut him off, you might want to rethink that. Sakura yelled, what are you saying, you baka, can't you see that she can't continue? Sakura, you really don't know me at all, do you? Naruto said quietly. Says Sakura. What? If you truly knew me, you should know that I never like to quit, Naruto said, turning to face her. The audience gasped, and Sakura snapped her head around to see Hinata standing. Naruto grinned at Hinata and remarked, because I never give up at all. Remember in your brain, Sakura. Why do you persist on standing? If you keep on pushing yourself, you will die, Neji responded. Because the person I admire is finally watching me, Hinata thought. The princess of Hyuga exclaimed, it's not over. Neji laughed. Acting touch is futile. I can see that you can barely stand at all. From the time of your birth, the responsibilities of the main family were pressed upon you. You have always hated your weakness, but people can't change fate. There is no need to suffer, so let it go. With a gentle yet firm response, Hinata said, you are wrong, Neji, because that person that is suffering and lost in the destinies of the main and branch families is actually you. Neji suddenly felt a blue hand touch his face and charged the weaker Neji. What? He asked himself. After yelling, "Urahhh," and dragging Neji's head to the ground, Naruto threw Neji against the wall, embedding a life-size crack in his person. Everyone stared in disbelief as Naruto glared at him while using the Devil Bringer. Kurenai, Asuma, and the other Jonin, with the exception of Kakashi, were shocked to think, that arm, he is truly the Four Dokage's son, he is actually alive. Naruto remarked icily, you stay your ass right there, I will deal with you later. He then turned to face Hinata, who sagged into his arms in silence. She whispered, did I do well, Naruto-kun? Naruto lifted his Devil Bringer, which abruptly turned a light green, and whispered, "You did good, very good, Hinata-chan. Now stay still while I heal you." He brushed a bang out of her face. "There, now rest, Hinata-chan. I will come and visit you when the preliminaries are done, alright?" he said, quickly healing her internal injuries with a wave of his hand. Says Hinata, "Promise?" Before she fell asleep, Hinata smiled and Naruto said, "I promise because I never go back on my word, that is my ninja way." Saying, "Make sure that she is safe, or I will make all your lives a living hell just like what I am doing to Neji in the exams." Naruto handed her over to the medical staff. "Hey, you, the loser over there. 2 things, 1, if you are a shinobi, you should cut out the pathetic cheering of others. 2, in the end, once a loser always a loser." Neji yelled as the Jonin, with the exception of Kurenai and Asuma, pulled him off the wall. On the quick draw, Naruto called forth Yamato, and Neji recoiled as he saw Yamato hovering perilously near his jugular. Neji's neck was dripping blood from the sword, and Kurenai, Asuma, Kakashi, Guy, and Hayate were the only ones sustaining him. They were all trying to avoid him as he growled, "Well then I will return the favor by telling you 2 things. 1. You need to man up and stop sucking on your dad's little screw he calls a dick, and 2. You are motherfucking dead, do you hear me? Despite you were Hinata's cousin and Tenten's teammate, your blood will be spilled tenfold. It wouldn't matter if I become a missing nin if I kill you unintentionally. You guys can let me go, now I said my piece," said Naruto. After being freed, Naruto went to cover his left hand with Hinata's blood. "I swear you will suffer her pain on her blood, or wa keshite urasanai," he said, holding his fist to him. Neji found his statement unsettling because there was a devil silhouette just behind and next to Naruto. Kasumi responded, "Oh, he is so going to die for messing with Hina-chan." Dante replied, "That was low, I can't talk since Virgil and I did the same thing, but seeing someone else do it is cruel." According to Virgil, that boy pissed off a Sparta, and you know that a Sparta becomes extremely sadistic when it comes down to hurting friends or family. Knowing that this situation was similar to his and Kairi's when Sanctus had her abducted, Nero remained silent. "Naruto, you shouldn't make claims that you chastised Kakashi," shouted Naruto. "If you are trying to steer me from hurting him severely or lecture me on my actions, then save your shit, Hitaki-san. I can't believe that your sensei had faith in you. You are still that 13-year-old pompous bastard that you are, when your teammate died. You have not changed a bit. Take your ass out of my sight." As Naruto turned away from Guy, Lee, Neji, and his group to support Kurenai and Shino, Kakashi's eyes widened in surprise. Time skip. End of preliminaries. Naruto avoided trying to stick his hand into Neji's stomach and painfully slowly string out his intestines by standing far away from him. "You will draw lots to see who gets paired up. Starting from the left." Hayate said, "Congratulations to the finalists, the finals will be held 1 month now." 7. Tamari said, "What does it take to be number 1? Asked Naruto. 6. Said Shino. 5 is my lucky number, Kankuro said. 3. Said Gaara. "What a drag, it's 9, Shikamaru remarked. 8. Dosu said. 2, Neji said. As Neji turned to face Naruto, he displayed a slow, sly smile that would make Ibiki blush. The general consensus was, "Oh, he is so screwed." It occurred to Ibiki and Anko that boy needs to be in the torture and interrogation division. "We shall see you guys in a month," Sarutobi said. Hospital. Naruto asked a nurse, "Excuse me, do you know what room Hinata Hyuga is in?" With a bitter tone, the nurse exclaimed, "Why do you want to know? Get the hell out of here, you are not welcome here." Naruto unleashed his killing intent on her in full. "Let's get something straight, when I ask you a motherfucking question, you give a motherfucking answer. I don't want some shit that comes out of your mouth, alright? Bitch? You're lucky that I don't raise hell in this place. Now I will ask you again, what is Hinata Hyuga's room?" Crying, the nurse muttered, Room 376. Naruto abruptly ended the conversation and stated, "I advise you to never deny me again. The boy that you thought you could walk all over died on a mission, and this is the new me. Remember that and never forget your place." Sobbing, he left the nurse on the floor and went to Hinata's room. When the Sparta entered, Hinata was accompanied by Heishi Hyuga, who was always stoic. "Hello, Heishi-san. Hey, Hinata-chan, how are you feeling?" Naruto said, glancing at them. In response to his smile, Hinata said, I am fine, and Naruto-kun. Hinata blushed as Naruto pulled out a scroll and opened a bouquet of daffodils, saying, Ino said that daffodils signify that it is a strong flower that waits the hope of spring with the thought of a speedy recovery. Excuse me, Uzumaki-san, we were discussing something here of importance, so leave at once. Naruto replied, you know, Hishi-san, you could have said that a bit polite. I will leave then. When his father was attempting to be tracked by Hyugas for skipping paperwork, Naruto left the room and then produced a seal that protected him from the Byakugan. As Naruto heard Hiyoshi's words, he placed his ear to the door. I can't believe that you lost and to Neji no less, a branch member, Hinata. I am very disappointed in you. Father, I tried, Hinata said in an attempt to clarify. Hinata bowed her head as her father turned on his heel to the door and found Naruto walking back in, facing her father. Hishi said, that is not enough, Hinata. You are the heir to the Hyuga throne. You are supposed to be strong and fearless, not timid and shy. I have no choice. I must place the caged bird seal onto you if you keep this up. You know, my mother was right. You can be a heartless bastard sometimes. With narrowed eyes, Hishi said, I thought I told you to leave. Naruto laughed. Yes, the room, but not the hospital itself. Look, Hishi, I don't care who you are or what kind of political power you have, this is wrong. She is your daughter for Kami's sake, she did her best against Neji. You have nothing to do with this, exclaimed Hishi. Replied, bullshit, Hinata. Chan is my friend, that makes it my damn business. Just because you lost your wife and Hinata happen to look, think, and her personality matches the one whom you fell in love with doesn't give you the damn right to belittle and ridicule her, because the fact is that you, Hishi Hyuga, are hampering her potential. Angrily, Hishi said, don't you dare speak about Hinata in front of me. Hinata was shocked to see Naruto take on Hishi Hyuga, the strong leader and patriarch of the Hyuga clan. Naruto remarked, Hinata. Sama had a kind heart and was one of the people that I respect in this village. Hinata reminds me of her a lot in some ways, but she isn't her, so don't push her away like that. You little brat, how dare you, Hishi said, grabbing Naruto by the rumple of his shirt. Hishi started to recall her words, Hishi, I wanted you to promise me that you will not be cold to our children and Neji-kun when I am gone. I don't want to see them hurt at all. Please promise my last request as your loving wife. Naruto said, I dare because I am certain that Hinata Sama is looking down upon you in shame. Do you remember what her last words were, Hishi? Huh? Do you? Hishi heard Hinata's voice in his mind. Hishi reflected, I remember, I made a promise, and now, I almost forgot about it. Hiyoshi's eyes were on the verge of tears as Naruto was put down. I see that you do remember, I didn't know Hinata Sama much, but she was kind and considerate of others. In fact I based my nindo in her honor. Hishi responded, Uzumaki-san. Thank you for helping me remember my promise. Nodded. The least I could do, Hishi. All you need was how my father said it, a good kick in the ass. Just make sure that you aren't harsh to Hinata Chan. Hinata responded, Naruto-kun. Thank you, and is it true that you are going to kill Neji? Sighing, truly I wanted to avoid that question with the utmost care, but yes, I was going to kill Neji, but I think that you would protest against this, nay? Hinata responded, yes, I believe that Neji is just angry and confused. Both Hishi and Hinata were taken aback when Naruto calmly stated, but that doesn't give him the right to try and kill you. If I didn't jump in, your condition would have been worse. You would have gone into cardiac arrest or worse, dead. Hishi, don't punish Neji, that will be my job. I will prove that he is wrong about fate. Fate is something you make, not something that you let happen. The Jinchuriki replied with conviction. He departed the room after saying that, leaving Hishi and Hinata to speak candidly for a short while. Naruto heard his name called just as he was ready to leave the hospital. For at least 2 months, he truly didn't want to speak to that person. What, Kakashi? I am busy, exclaimed the Jinchuriki. Ebisu appeared behind Naruto, who appeared uninterested for the moment. Okay, Ebisu. Do you know any advanced chakra control exercises? Ebisu said, Naruto. I set you up with a person to train you. Affirmative. Ebisu nodded. Says Naruto, what are they? Ebisu responded, water walking, senbon balancing, leaf balancing, and kunai balancing. Naruto replied, thank you, now I have a request of you. I want you to train Sakura Haruno for the month. What? Exclaimed Ebisu and Kakashi. Naruto replied, Ebisu, with all due respect, though it was a cheap shot, I beat you already and I could kick your ass now with my strength, plus I have my own training regiment. As for Hitaki-san, I didn't think you thought so lowly of us. Well, I did when I figured out you were playing favorites though. Sakura and I have not learned anything from you except tree walking. Kakashi responded, Naruto, you can't ditch Ebisu, I outrank you as a Jonin. Coldly responding, but I outrank you as clan head, so I invoke my status as clan head of Namikaze and ordered you, Ebisu, to train Sakura Haruno for the month. If she asked why I sent you, tell her that this is my debt to her for protecting me in the forest of death, and her bastard of a sensei will probably not teach us anything for about maybe 5 years or so. Also tell her if she doesn't want to left behind, then she will take the offer. After giving a nod, Ebisu left to look for Sakura. Naruto glanced at Kakashi. I can't believe that you actually did that. The least you could have paired me up with could have been Asuma, but I see that your incompetent jackass won. Track mind is still set on Uchiha Obito. You have failed, Kakashi. I don't give a shit if you promise Obito or my father anything because they are dead. You went back on your words, Kakashi. You abandoned me and Sakura. Thus, you are worse than trash. The words entered Kakashi's mind like each one became a blade. Am I really that blind? Am I an idiot? Kakashi asked himself. The forest. Secret training area. Namikaze estate. The nerve of him, trying to pass me off as weak. He is lucky that I am not going to kill. Maybe humiliate him a bit. Okay, this looks like a good spot. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto told himself. 110 clones came out in existence, then the Jinchuriki ordered, okay, I want you to separate into groups of 10. Team Alistair, you will work on utilizing Alistair. Team Rebellion, work on Rebellion a bit more, some of the moves are a bit slow. I noticed when encountering Echidna. Team Gilgamesh, work on Taijutsu and using Gilgamesh hard. I plan on using that during the match with Neji. Team Gambler will work on Red Queen and the Devil Bringer. Team Devil will work on Yamato. Team Alpha, Water Walking. Team Bravo, Senbon Balancing. Team Sparta will work on Force Edge. Team Omega will work on Leaf Balancing. And last but not least, Team Ultima will work on Kunai Balancing. While you are perfecting the moves on each Devil Arm, I will be battling with our friends and ancestors and discuss battle strategies with them. That includes torture methods for Neji. Hinata said not to kill him, but it doesn't mean I can rough him up a little bit. You have your assignments, now let's get to work. Remember, this is for Hinata. Chan. While the real Naruto sat down and practiced meditation, all of the Naruto clones exclaimed, right, and started working frantically. Mindscape. Naruto said solemnly, Kasumi, Chan, Dante, Virgil, Nero, come on, it's showtime. Wow, I've never seen you so serious before, Naru. Chan, exclaimed the vixen. Kasumi was shocked to learn that the Jinchuriki didn't even acknowledge the nickname he detested, saying instead, that's because, this fight is personal, so help me devise a plan to torture him slowly and or painfully. Kasumi nodded, saying, Naruto, you've come to the right demon. You must first identify and take advantage of his weaknesses. After giving it some thought, Naruto suddenly recalled, when I said something about his dad, it really ticked him off. Kasumi grinned, good, he is also prone to anger if you prove him wrong about fate. You will need to be fast and precise with your hits. Most likely, in your current state, will fall against him and he will boast something about fate allowing you to be on his knees before him or some shit like that. Naruto nodded, also I will only use Taijutsu and Gilgamesh on him. His pride will be broken if I defeat in his forte, he will be so ashamed that I actually beat him. Kasumi continued, the mental torture is done, now for the physical torture, you are going to have to learn a new jutsu, it's called the Atomic Hand Jutsu, and to restrain him from moving, I will teach you the Kanashibari no Jutsu. For a tortoise genjutsu, the memory recall jutsu relives the person's worst pain to an extent. With a wicked grin, Naruto replied, okay, not only you are sexy, but extremely sadistic and deadly, I like that, I am definitely glad you were sealed inside of me. Don't say such things so casually like that, blushed Kasumi. Replied, why? I meant every word, I mean, if I never met you, my family would still be alive. But on the other hand, I would never meet a great, powerful, and beautiful ally and friend, such as you, Kasumi-chan. The jailer grinned and said, hi, Kasumi-chan, from the bottom of my beating heart. Kasumi stammered, her blush gradually increasing, Do you really mean that, Naruto-kun? The color of Kasumi's blush rapidly matched her tails, which made it worse. Naruto asked, nay, Kasumi-chan, are you okay? According to the vixen, I'm fine. Naruto continued, are you sure? I mean, you are pulling a Hinata here, you don't have a fever, do you? Kasumi responded, I said I'm fine, now let's go and practice those jutsu, but go practice with Dante and Virgil. I will be there in a few minutes. Naruto gave a wink, right, I will get to work, just wait, Neji, I will make you suffer. Kasumi said, I can't, I'm not in love with Naruto-kun. I won't say that I'm in love, as Nero emerged behind him. You know, if you feel for him that much, you gotta tell him how you feel. A.N. I was about to bust out that song from Hercules 2 when I thought of this phrase. Denial is the first step, Nero stated. Yelled Kasumi, Yurusei. Anger is the second step, Nero shot back. Nero laughed. Bargaining is the third step, Kasumi remarked. If I am in love with him, I would have jumped him the second he came in. I may be infatuated with him, but I'm not in love, Kasumi declared. He couldn't love a demon and isn't in love with me either. He had other people. Kasumi, congratulations. You've made it to the fourth step, depression, said Nero with a sly smile. The fifth and final step is acceptance. Heaving a frustrated sigh, Kasumi said, I am not in love with Naruto-kun. Nero, you are impossible. Kasumi blushed and approached Naruto, Dante, and Virgil after Nero shot back. You have been saying Naruto-kun or Naruto-kun for the past 5 minutes, Kasumi-chan. Yeah, Nero told himself, I said that many times while thinking about Kairi before I realized what I might have lost when she was abducted by Sanctus. Teme. I just hope you don't experience the same thing, Kasumi-chan. Naruto dispelled his clones and these groups suffered from torn muscles, aching, and heavy breathing. 2 hours later, Naruto had mastered the atomic hand in Kanashibari, and he was able to perform the memory recall for only 3 minutes. The longest Kasumi could do was 3 years, assuming she wasn't angry. With Kasumi's assistance, he managed to get to the hot springs, where he chose to rest and unwind for a while. A.N. You guys know what's coming next. The Namikaze heir let out a loud sigh and dove into the hot spring water. Now that I'm home, I have to go to the store to get Tenten, so I'll take a 15 to 20 minute break since it's 6 o'clock. I need to stop thinking about Neji. Teme, Naruto thought to himself. I know that type of giggle anywhere, who the hell would stoop so low to peek on women? He said, when he heard giggling abruptly close to the women's onsen. For Kami's sake, that's why Playboy was created, Naruto thought irritably. A white-haired pervert was seen peeking through a hole in the women's onsen as Naruto hurriedly changed and walked around the hot springs. Stop doing that, Arrow.og.san. Naruto said, go to the brothel or use Playboy if you want to get off. The man waved him away, ignoring him, and Naruto fixed his jaw before shooing him away with ebony and ivory and saying, bye-bye, pervert. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Sparta, and thought that bastard of a sensei. Kakashi didn't teach me anything, so now is the best time to use it on perverts like you, Naruto said as the pervert leapt away and Naruto emerged behind him. Oh hell no, said Kasumi. Konoha Taijutsu Ugi. Senin Garashi. Sparta style. Yelled Naruto. The pervert was thrown into the women's onsen after he rammed ivory up his asshole and fired an overcharged bullet. The women screamed right away and started beating the poor pervert mercilessly. With a twitching eye, Kasumi said, he actually used that move. The pervert dragged himself out of the hole where the women had beaten him, and he thought, ow, did he say his name was Sparta? Naruto said, well, I defeated a pervert with time to spare. I got to get ready for my date with Ten-chan. In order to prepare for his date, he headed home. 10 minutes before 7 o'clock, Naruto arrived at the Senzuki shop. He was dressed in black dress pants, a violet dress shirt, and specially made purple shoes. Ohio, Kua.san. Exclaimed the Jinchuriki. Wow, you can clean up nice, Naruto.san. Let me call Tenten down. Hey, Tenten, Naruto is here, Kua whistled as she turned to face Naruto. Naruto was amazed by what he saw when he heard both men hear footsteps coming down the stairs. Tenten was wearing a black Chinese dress with dragons in red and blue entwining on the front and back. Naruto remarked, wow, beautiful, and you kept your hair down too. Thanks, blushed Tenten. Tenten's uncle responded, you look beautiful, Tenten, now you too. I want you to be back by 9 p.m. Sharp, oh, and no stopping at hotels, don't think I know what goes down in there. We aren't going to do that, it's only the first date, exclaimed Naruto and Tenten, both of whom were flushed. Naruto and Tenten left, but not before Kua yelled another embarrassing remark, what, anything could happen, plus as Tenten's guardian and a friend of your mother, it is my responsibility to embarrass you both, now go and have fun. Make sure you guys use protection, I heard Trojan works wonders. As they hurried to the jazz club, Naruto and Tenten both flushed. When Naruto and Tenten arrived at jazz club, they discovered a band playing upbeat music and plenty of food and beverages. Naruto looked at her and remarked, Now this is what I call a party. Shall we dance, Chan? Tenten nodded. Yeah, as you say Naruto-kun, let's rock this joint. Kasumi sighed, thinking, that hussy, Naruto-kun is mine. Wait, did I just say that? Nero looked at her and thought, looks like someone is jealous. Kyuubi and the Spartas were sitting in chairs, enjoying Miller Lite, popcorn, and pizza while watching Naruto's date with Tenten. Dante pumped his fist in the air and exclaimed, go ahead, kid, work that Sparta charm on her. Unaware of the people in his head, Naruto grinned at Tenten and said, you seem very energetic today, Chan. What can I say, your personality is contagious, Tenten said, flushed. Tenten eeped as Naruto led her to the center of the dance floor and said, yeah, I get that a lot from people. He then put his arm around her waist. Tenten gave him a light chest slap after Naruto laughed at her, and she then put her hand on his shoulder. They synchronized their dance moves with the lively tunes. Both boys and girls watched the two demon hunters' descendants as their feet moved softly across the dance floor, wearing a mix of awe, jealousy, and lustful expressions. Naruto and Tenten were somewhat startled when the song ended and the crowd clapped their hands. Dante whistled, damn, kids got some moves on the dance floor. Though she clenched her hands in her lap, Kasumi smiled softly and thought, I feel happy for Naruto-kun, but what is this feeling I have? While whispering in her ear, Nero expressed her thoughts. That is called jealousy, Kasumi. You are jealous because you wish that was you dancing with Naruto, and not Tenten. If you don't tell him sometime, you just might lose him forever. It occurred to Kasumi, I am in love with Naruto-kun. Bingo, she finally reached the last step, acceptance, Nero thought, grinning. Hana, Anko, and Party. Kurenai were seated at a table close to the dance floor. Anko leaned back in her chair and remarked, now this is the life, drinking sake and being with friends. Kurenai turned to look at the dance floor and noticed that there was a crowd gathered around the center of it. The Genjutsu mistress said, hey, what is the commotion about there? According to Hana, let's check it out then. Naruto and Tenten were dancing the night away when the three kunoichi approached and pushed their way into the crowd. Hana questioned, is that Naruto Uzumaki? Hana nodded, and Kurenai noticed Anko's slight flush and said, actually his new name is Naruto Uzumaki. Namikaze. Sparta, but it is not out to the public, so keep it to yourself for now. What's wrong, Anko? Why are you blushing? She inquired. Kurenai peered at the dancing Naruto and Tenten and remarked, that must be Tenten, the weapons specialist of Guy's team. She looks nice in that dress. Anko added, well, remember when I told about that guy with the sexual comment, that happens to the Gaki. As the dance and music ended, Naruto saw the three kunoichi staring at them. As he approached them, Naruto put his arm around Tenten's waist and said, hello, ladies, enjoyed the show? Yeah, Gaki, you mind giving me private dances? He sighed, sorry, Anko. Chan, I have a date right now, maybe next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Anko responded, you are asking for a date with Anko Mitarashi, the snake mistress and former apprentice of Orochimaru. Naruto raised his eyebrows, Anko. Chan, you are not the snake pedophile, only his apprentice, you are you and Orochi. Teme is Orochi, Teme. Hey, he is mine, snake lady. Whoa, where did that come from? Tenten thought as she stared at Anko's genuine smile. Fine, I will accept your request, Naruto retorted. It is 8 o'clock now, let's take a break, Chan. Well, we see you ladies around. Hana said, glancing at his toned butt, you got to admit. He is a looker, nice ass. Kurenai frowned. Hana. Chan. The Inazaka vet protested, what? Tenten sipped lemonade at the table and remarked, this is nice, Naruto-kun. You are a great dancer, you actually didn't step on my toes. Naruto laughed and said, hey, are you mocking me? I thought that I was doing great, or were you just toying with me? Tenten laughed and said, relax, Naruto-kun, I was just kidding. Naruto said, good, because I was playing along too. He was lightly struck by Tenten, who said, you tricked me. All is fair in love and war, Chan, Naruto retorted. As a ninja in the field, I am obligated to live with the pleasures of alcohol and sex if I am obligated to kill, Tenten. Naruto remarked, if you are old enough to kill, then you are old enough to drink and make passionate love. Tenten remarked, you can't be drinking sake, you are underage. The idea of Naruto nude made Tenten's face flush. Oh, somebody is thinking naughty thoughts about me. Nay, Chan. Stuttering, Tenten said, S. Sona. Changing the topic, Naruto said, So Tenten, tell me about yourself. Tenten said with a grin on her face, well, when I was 5, I lost my parents, they were on a mission together and a platoon of Iwa ninjas found them. They fought bravely, taking the platoon with them in the end. Then Kua took me in and there I got into weapons. A few years, I had this uncanny ability to hit targets dead center at any given angle. I began to pass it off as only luck, but one time I threw a kunai, trying to aim at a target behind another one. I secretly wanted to hit the second one, but threw toward the first one in front. It veered around the tree, answering my desires, and I knew that I had a great ability for weapons. Every weapon I knew I mastered within a few months. In school, I was constantly teased as a perfectionist by some of the kids in my class. I would try to scare away, but I realized that someone would get hurt. I ignored them and kept the pain inside my heart. As he listened, Naruto observed thoughtfully, she is kind of like me, teased and scorned for something that she had no control of. Tenten continued, then I got on a squad with Neji Hyuga, the Rookie of the Year, and Rock Lee, the so-called dead last of the year. I did admire both Neji and Lee a lot for their ability and determination, even had a crush on Neji, but I realized that he would never notice me, so I waited for the right guy to come and find me. I think, Naruto, that it might be you. Me? Naruto exclaimed in surprise for a moment. Tenten smiled and nodded. Yes, when you stepped in the shop that day, I had a sudden attraction. I wanted to get to know you better, to see what kind of person are you. In the forest, I found that you cared for your friends and will protect anyone in need of help, and during your match against me, I saw that you actually care about me, knowing nothing about me, and realized that when you actually put yourself in harm's way for me. From that moment, I felt that I like you a lot. Naruto replied, wow, wow, this is a lot to take in. Tenten glanced away, oh, then I am sorry to overwhelm you. Naruto raised his hands in disapproval, stop, Chan, you're beautiful, strong, and smart. Sasuke would kill to have a girl like you. Wait, that is insulting. Any guy would kill to have you, and I am honored to be liked by you. So I would love to be your boyfriend if you would have me. Tenten grinned at him and said, yes, I would, Naruto-kun. Naruto turned to face her and grinned softly, saying, I will be back in a little moment. Tenten said to herself, could this night get any better? As a well-known song began to play. In a shocked whisper, the weapons mistress said, that's Forever in Love by Kenny G. She turned to face Naruto, who was beaming. You didn't, how did you know? She asked. How do you think mentioned your favorite song? Naruto retorted. Tenten grinned to himself and said, thanks, Uncle Kua. Tenten wrapped her hand around Naruto's neck, drawing his body closer to hers as he approached and put his hand around her waist once more. They danced in a circle or as Iruka. Sensei showed Naruto the zone while the song was playing. You never go beyond your zone when a slow song is playing. Tenten lost her sense of reality as her gaze shifted to Naruto's azure eyes. She only cared about Tenten and Naruto, and that was the only thing that was present and significant. The Jinchuriki then drew Tenten closer to Naruto's powerful chest as her head rested on his shoulder. Tenten leaned in and tilted her head as the song came to an end, and Naruto met her implication. Their lips then formed a ripening kiss. Their lips parted as the song came to an end. There was a spark between them, and Naruto felt the impulse to kiss her once more. Tenten exhaled sharply and said, that was exhilarating. Replied, yeah, that was refreshing. Well, it is time to get you home before Kua-san tries to kill me for taking your virginity or something. Tenten nodded, blushing at the suggestion. With their hands clasped together and a renewed sense of affection and respect for one another, the two left the club. Senzuki shop. Tenten remarked, well, Naruto-kun, I had a great time tonight. Naruto replied, so did I, but, do you know what could make it better? What? Tenten asked, turning to face him. This, said Naruto. After he pressed his lips to hers, Tenten's eyes widened in surprise before she slowly closed them to savor the kiss. The door opened abruptly, and a picture was taken by a camera flash. The teenagers leapt back to see Kua grinning while holding a video camera in one hand. Ah, their first kiss, how sweet, and I got it all on video and picture too. Blushing, Naruto and Tenten exclaimed, Uncle, Kua-san. Kua went on, well, I see you and Tenten are together now, but Naruto, you do know that you have to take multiple wives for your clan since you fall under the Clan Restoration Act, right? Naruto replied, sadly yes, I was planning to tell you, Tenten, tomorrow, but I will only get girls that love me for who I am and not my status. With a smile, Tenten told him, it's okay, I am bisexual anyway. After staring at her for a minute, Naruto said, that's new. WWHOAA, didn't see that coming, Nero said. Dante replied, good choice, kid. With her, there are possibilities. Although Virgil remained silent, he was secretly grinning broadly in admiration of his descendant. After he had calmed down, Naruto said, well then, good night, Kua-san, Ten. Heim. Kua and Tenten entered the store, but the weapon mistress returned to give Naruto his third kiss of the evening. As she deliberately swayed her hips, Naruto turned to face her and thought, I will tell you one thing, she is a feisty one and she got a nice ass too. As he made his way back to his home, he occasionally touched his lips as he thought about Kasumi, who was brewing with resentment, agony, and jealousy. I will not be left behind. Naruto said that I have changed and now, I have an opportunity to show him and Sasuke-kun that change. Sakura mused to herself while Ebisu oversaw her training. That Hyuga boy better watch out or I am afraid that he just may end up dead, Ebisu said, fixing his glasses. She is such a determined girl, maybe Naruto is not that bad after all. First, Konohamaru, and now Sakura, he thought. Sakura started to reflect on the day she first met Ebisu as she completed her push-up routine. Her uncle called out to her, Sakura, there is something here to see you. Flashback no jutsu. Sakura left her parents' home and moved in with her uncle after discovering Naruto was a Jinchuriki. Unlike his brother and sister.in.law, her uncle Kazuma Haruno did not harbor animosity toward Naruto. Instead, he viewed Naruto as the container. Sakura went downstairs and saw a tall, thin man wearing black glasses and a Konoha bandana. Sakura said, yes, may I help you? With grace. The Jonin inquired, yes, are you Haruno Sakura? The cherry blossom agreed and the man continued, my name is Ebisu, your teammate, Naruto Uzumaki, recommended and ordered me to train you for the month. He said if you didn't want to be left behind, you would take this training. Sakura bowed her head for a moment and clenched her fist tightly. Then she lifted her head up slowly and Ebisu saw her jade eyes harden with determination. When do we start? Flashback ends, she inquired. Over the course of the 3 weeks, Sakura underwent a transformation. Her increased physical strength, agility, and rapid analysis and decision making skills made her a formidable opponent to any Chuunin. Doden. Shinju Zanshu no Jutsu, Kaden. Heizekiho no Jutsu, and Kaden. Housenka no Jutsu were added to her arsenal by Ebisu, who also helped her develop her chakra control and capacity. When I see Naruto, I will need to thank him for this, the Kunoichi muttered. Damn it, all I can manage for now on 20 minutes, said Naruto, gritting his teeth as he tried to use more Kinoshuka no Jutsu, than he was capable of. Though I suppose it will be more than enough to torment the fate. Loving excuse of an asshole. I want to spend at least 30 minutes on Neji, Naruto thought. Anbu appeared out of nowhere, and Naruto said, hey, Azuki-san. Yugo Azuki was a skilled swordswoman whose abilities were surpassed only by her fiancé, Gekko Hayate. Anko, who defended him from the mob along with Kakashi and her partner Bear, was the reason Naruto and Yugo knew each other. She would frequently spar with him during the 3 weeks to practice his speed and use of Yamato and Gilgamesh. In exchange, Naruto taught her the Kage Bunshin to work with, as well as the Crescent Moon style and its final technique, the Crescent Moon dance, which allowed her to add more attacks to the technique because it created illusions to trick the opponent. Why do you call me that? Naruto asked. Naru-chan, I told you to call me Neko when I am on duty. It's bad enough with just one person, Neko said, because of your expressions. Anyway, you were requested by the Hokage. Naruto nodded, and Neko performed the traditional leaf shunshin to the Hokage's office. Hokage's office. Naruto, I'm happy to see you here. Naruto asked, is it Asuma because I would like to learn Hein style? Sarutobi replied, I have set you up with a person I trusted. A.N. Hey, I like Asuma, out of all the Jonin in Konoha, he was my favorite. Shame. Kishimoto had him killed. Teme. Naruto turned to face Jiraiya and gaped at him, the pervert blinded and making the same face as they both yelled. You. Sarutobi said, sorry, but it's not Asuma-kun. You can come in now, Jiraiya. Raising an eyebrow, Sarutobi said, you two know each other? The Sparta dismissed Neko's desire to kill Naruto because she was one of the women in the onsen at the time, but Jiraiya yelled, he was the one who shot me into the women's onsen. Well, excuse me for trying to justify and save the dignity of women due to your peeping, Jiraiya yelled. As Neko's murderous intent focused on the Sannin, Jiraiya swallowed. Enough? You two will collaborate. Even though my former pupil is a pervert, Naruto is one of the Sannin and taught your father. Are you serious? Said Naruto incredulously. Great, I've already met 2 of the Sannin and I've discovered that one of them is a gay pedophile who wants my blood and Sasuke's body. and the other is a pervert who can't stop peeping and seems to heal quickly after every beating, the Jinchuriki said after the Sandame nodded in agreement. Will the next Sannin use alcohol or something else to numb their problems? As Naruto finishes his sentence, Sarutobi and Jiraiya exchange uneasy glances. Oh, come on, Naruto yelled. Hiruzen wisely remarked, however, Jiraiya will supervise your training. Arrow. Sennin, what precisely are you going to teach me? Naruto inquired. Well, Gaki, I will be teaching you Kachiyose no Jutsu and how to use the Kyuubi's chakra, Jiraiya said, a tick mark pulsing on his forehead as Sarutobi and Neko tried not to laugh at the Sannin's new moniker. Okay, but you don't have to teach her how to control her power, Naruto retorted. We became friends after I persuaded her to change her ways. You just got lucky, Naruto, Kasumi muttered. In his mind, Naruto's response was, sure, Kasumi-chan, and I didn't see you in your naked glory after I defeated you. Although he didn't hear the vixen, he could have imagined her blushing profusely. So I have to do is ask and I will receive, but I prefer to use it as a last resort since I like to use my own power. Neko, Sarutobi, and Jiraiya shouted at him, you spoke with Kyuubi? Is that a she? In response, Naruto inserted his pinky finger into his ear and said, yes, and she prefers the term vixen or Kasumi. He said, explain yourself, Naruto. According to the Jinchuriki, I went to speak with Kyuubi after I meditated after Kakashi told me to do so. She was an old romantic interest from my ancestors' past, and she lost her mind when she heard my name. As a result, we got into a fight. I won in the end, and we became friends at first, then close friends. Why didn't you report this encounter earlier? Sarutobi inquired. With a head scratch, Naruto said, I forgot about it. Jiraiya muttered to himself, well, at least I have more time for research, let's go, Gaki. Naruto nodded and followed the Sannin to the hot springs as the three faces fell to the ground, their feet twitching in the air. Hot springs. Arrow. Sennin. I thought you were going to teach me how to awaken my inner pervert and how to do the Kachiyose no Jutsu. As Naruto yelled, a number of tick marks showed up behind his head. Okay, now that I have the images in my head, let's get started with your training, Jiraiya said, ceasing to giggle and becoming serious. What kind of pervert are you? Inquired Naruto. With gusto, Jiraiya replied, a super pervert. With a collective exhale, Kasumi and the Spartas thought, he has no shame at all. Jiraiya bit his thumb and executed the seal, saying, now, watch closely, the seals for the jutsu are boar, dog, bird, monkey, and sheep. Kachiyose no Jutsu. As a large plume of smoke engulfed him and black runes etched across the floor, he yelled. Impressive, Naruto said, clapping, as it cleared, and he saw Jiraiya perched atop a large toad. The toad then opened its mouth and handed him a scroll. Open it, the Sannin said, then send your name in blood and put your fingers on it. Following Jiraiya's instructions, Naruto turned through the hand signals and said, Kachiyose no Jutsu. To call forth a tiny frog, our bleached blonde hero was encased in a white plume of smoke. Hello. I'm Gamakichi. Nice to meet you. Do you have any candy? Sweet, I got this jutsu down, Naruto said, reaching into his pouch and handing him a piece of chocolate. He actually summoned a toad on the first attempt, Jiraiya thought, but based on what Sarutobi told me, his chakra control was woefully inadequate. I summoned a tadpole on my first attempt, so I guess he must have done a lot of chakra control exercises. Okay, Naruto, you did great, but now you have to figure out how much chakra it takes to summon the boss, he said. Naruto was thinking, hey, Kasumi, could you give me a little bit of chakra since my chakra control indeed has improved well, it might not be enough. Sure thing, Naru-kun, said Kasumi. Don't you think that advice would have been helpful before you told to do it? Shouted Naruto, as the Sparta felt a sudden surge of power flow through him and yelled, Kachiyose no. Jiraiya waved his hands, saying, wait, not now, we got to go into the forest. Forest. All right, let's give it another go. Jutsu no Kachiyose. Why have you called me, Jiraiya? Naruto said, suddenly standing atop an elderly, scarred toad. Oh, Mr. Toad, Naruto said, it was me, not the pervert. You called me, Gamabunta, the Toad King, the toad chuckled. Haha. Oh, that's rich, hee. Jiraiya thought, he ought to do the same thing in 3, 2, 1 if he's like Minato. In order to get Gamabunta's attention, Naruto strode down his muzzle and fired a warning shot. Look, Gamabunta, if Jiraiya summoned you, he probably did it to impress some women because you probably have connections with this world, right? You can ask Gamakichi or Arrow. Sennin. Naruto stated, I did, in fact, summon you. Is my son present? Son? Gamabunta said. Naruto said, raising an eyebrow. Gamakichi jumped from Naruto's head to on top of his father's snout. Hey, Pops, Naruto is correct, he did call you. I see, Gamabunta said, nodding. The Toad Boss thought softly, hey, just like you, Minato. Alright, then Naruto, you'll be one of my henchmen, let's have a drink sometime. Naruto nodded as he leapt from Gamabunta's snout to the ground, and Gamabunta and Gamakichi returned home. Hospital. Tenten and Naruto both came down to see their friends, first Choji, then Lee after a brief argument with Gaara, and finally they were headed to see Hinata, who was scheduled to leave the hospital tomorrow. How are you feeling today, Hinata? Tenten inquired. Hinata hesitantly replied, much better, tomorrow is my last day here. Then she saw Naruto's hand entwined with Tenten's and she saw a glimmer of sadness in her eyes, which Tenten caught before she covered them up. Tenten turned to her boyfriend and said, Naruto-kun, could you please give us a little privacy? Naruto responded, alright, I don't want to impose on your girl talk. Tenten turned to Hinata as the Namikaze heir left the room, saying, you love him, don't you, Hinata? She inquired. What are you discussing? Hinata stumbled. Don't lie to me, Hinata. I saw your face lit up with happiness when he walked inside and I also saw that glint of sadness in your eyes when you saw our hands interlacing between each other. Tenten went on, Hinata, you don't have to worry about it. Hinata bowed her head, tears streaming down her cheeks, and then she yelled, what do you mean don't worry about it? I let you take him away to claim him as your own because I was too shy and lost the only person I cared about and my only chance to be with him. Tenten said, Hinata, there is a way for us both to have him. What? Said Hinata. You see, my real name is Naruto Uzumaki. Namikaze. Sparta, Naruto's voice abruptly said. According to the Clan Restoration Act, I must take several wives when I rise to the rank of Chuunin because I am the last heir of clans like Sasuke. Teme. Tenten is one of them because I've come to love her, and you might be the second wife I would pick now that I know you did feel something for me. I apologize for not noticing sooner, Hina. Chan. I saw it but mistakenly believed it to be something else. Naruto, Tenten reprimanded, I told you to leave the room. I'm going to say the same thing that Hinata's father told me, which is that you told me to leave the room but not the hallway. Naruto grinned. I was a little taken aback when I heard Hinata yell that she had lost her chance to be with me. Hinata turned a deep red when she realized Naruto had heard her outburst. Naru-kun, will you tell them about me? Kasumi inquired. The Jinchuriki said, girls, I have a secret to tell you both. Do you remember the Kyuubi incident 13 years ago? Naruto retorted, I might as well before I have an attachment to either one of them. Both Kunoichi nodded, and Naruto went on, that was a lie. My dad, the Yondaime, had no choice but to seal it into his own son, me, after failing to defeat the Kyuubi. He believed that I was the only one who had to bear this weight. Tenten and Hinata were shocked by this new information. Naruto began to say, I will understand if you two don't want to hand around me anymore. He was facing away when his girlfriend came around to embrace him from the front and a pair of slender arms embraced him from behind. Hinata's eyes filled with tears as she recalled a 4-year-old boy who had been bruised on the ground, and she said, so, that is, why all those beatings, the isolation, and the tears. The Kyuubi is the Kyuubi, and you are you, Tenten remarked. It attacked the village for whatever reason. Someone was foolish enough to tamper with it. Kasumi exclaimed, gosh darn it, Naruto replied, you are actually right, Chan. The Kyuubi, or she preferred to be called Kasumi, was being controlled by Uchiha, Madara Uchiha, the founder of the Uchiha clan and Sasuke's ancestor. The Kyuubi is a she, Tenten asked, and Madara ought to be dead, how is that possible? Tenten nodded and confirmed Hinata's statement, it doesn't matter now, but Naruto-kun. Our thoughts have not changed at all, and I am more ashamed that the village are like that. Arigato, Chan, Hina. Naruto grinned. The Jinchuriki laughed, well then, sleep tight, Hinata. Chan, after he kissed Tenten and then Hinata on the forehead, causing her to faint with a great flush. After deciding to pair his navy blue shirt and black dress shoes with a royal blue shirt later that evening, Naruto followed Kurenai's instructions to Anko's apartment, rang the doorbell, and heard multiple laughing voices. Anko, wearing an amethyst dress and black heels, emerged as the door opened. Like I said at the exams, hello, nurse. With a sly smile, Naruto remarked, someone is looking hot today. Thanks, Anko said, licking her lips, you are not too bad yourself, Gaki. The young man asked, I am guessing you guys wanted to observe me on the dance floor again or from me hurting her emotionally. The women gave a firm nod, and Naruto shrugged, fine. Whatever floats your boat. Naruto turned to see Hana Inazaka in a black dress, Kurenai in red, and Yugo in blue. There was a line of people trying to get in, but when Naruto and company got there, the bouncer let them in without any issues or passes. Naruto then turned and led Anko to another club. Alright, Gaki, tell me how you did that. I heard that this club hardly ever lets anyone in without a pass or something, inquired Anko. I happened to save his son's life once, Naruto retorted. Kurenai said, but, Naruto, the people could say that they know you. Naruto turned to the Genjutsu mistress and said, the bouncer, Takeda, was once a ninja. In return, the owner allows me or my friends to enter for free. His ability to read eye movements and body language is useful for both civilians and some ninjas. I gave him a phrase for the other expert ninjas that changes every week as a precaution. As he stood behind the chair, the kunoichi, with the exception of Yugo, gaped at Naruto. Anko sat down and said, my, girls, we have a gentleman here. Naruto shoved her toward the table, and the other kunoichi were about to follow suit when he exclaimed, Nah, you three remain standing, I will seat you personally. Kurenai said, I am on to you, Naruto, you are trying to butter us up. The Sparta questioned, is it working, Kurenai-san? The woman smiled slyly and replied, a little bit. He repeated the procedure with each of them. With a sly smile, Naruto said, all right, so I'll tell you about my background in the Kyuubi. I'll also share my preferences. My favorite things are clubs, sunsets, pizza, ramen, making Kakashi dance to my music when he's late, Tenten, my girlfriend, Hinata, and my soon-to-be fiancé once I have Hiashi's blessing. My hobbies are training, dates with Chan, which reminds me to set up a date with Hinata, Chan, and pranks. I dislike people who act arrogantly, who believe they are superior due to their heritage, and who harm others for power. These people make up 70% of the villagers, 30% of the Jonin, and 50% of the Chuunin. In my ideal world, I would collect the devil arms my mother released, defend my loved ones, rise to the position of Hokage, and destroy Orochimaru for a particular kunoichi. Anko, it's your turn. The Jinchuriki grinned and said, already have an attachment to me. Anko stated, my likes are Dango, my job, Chan, Hana, Chan, Yugo, Chan, and somewhat Naru.kun. Please, Anko said with a seductive wink, you have no idea what position I can put you in. Naruto started to comply, saying, oh, which role would that be, too? The accordion, missionary, or dog style? During a mock reprimand, Anko said, you watch your tongue, Naru.kun, or I will have to force you to do so. Sorry, Anko.san, my tongue seems to have a mind of its own, the Jinchuriki laughed. Most of the time, I have no control over what it does. His statement caused Anko's nether region to warm up, so she responded, would you like me to help you with that problem? I have professional training in these areas? Sighing, I don't know, if you do, I can't guarantee your safety, I mean, one thing could lead to one another once it is unleashed. Smiling, Anko remarked, oh, come on, I'm not going to eagle spread, am I? Replied, actually, I was thinking more along the lines are you on your hands and knees? Then your new nickname shall be Bobblehead. After this date ended and Hana went to the bathroom to relieve herself, Yugo decided to fuck Hayate, but they were unaware that Kurenai turned red like Hinata at the thought of it as the two countered each other with inventive sexual references. Kurenai yelled, enough, Anko, wrap up the introduction. She grumbled, fine, my dislikes are Orochimaru, 90% of the villagers, 70% of the Chuunin, rapists and pedophiles. Hobbies are interrogation, flirting, torture, disturbing the peace, and training. My dream is to kill Orochimaru, have an apprentice and possibly settle down. Stated that, my likes are rubies, my girls, my genin team and sunsets. My dislikes are rapists, pedophiles and people who hurt my friends especially Anko. Chan and Hinata. Chan. My hobbies are making new genjutsu, dancing and karaoke. My dream is to make sure my team succeeds in life and possibly settle down. The Neko Anbu stated, my likes are tempura, Hayate-kun, swords and the moon. My dislikes are Otto, people who try to hurt my girls, pedophiles, and rapists. My hobbies are spending time with Hayate-kun and the girls. My dream, I have already got it. Hana returned to introduce herself. My likes are my family, The Himaru trio, treating pets, hanging out with the girls and messing with my younger brother. My dislikes are animal abuse, child abuse, molestation, and pedophiles. My hobbies are working at the vet. My dream is to settle down. Then he yelled, "Welcome to the Whirlwind Club, where you spent your nights so good, it is all a blur to you in the morning. I would like to ask that Naruto could please come up to the mic and sing. Last time it was off the hook." At the table, every kunoichi exclaimed, "You can sing?" Naruto was blushing. Yeah, I had a lot of free time lately before I had these changes. I learned to play the guitar, piano and some of the strings area. Now if you will excuse me?" After putting on an acoustic guitar and approaching the stage, Naruto asked, "How are you guys tonight?" To a roar of applause. "All right, I believe I have 3 songs for tonight. Here they are." As screams of applause filled the club, Kurenai, Anko, Yugo, and Hana were stunned and clapped numbly for Naruto. "Thank you, now we are going to pump things up. Everyone get on the dance floor, that includes you ladies too. Anko, Kurenai, Yugo, Hana." Naruto grinned and said, "Kage Bunshin no Jutsu." The others took up the bass, drums, and 3 microphones, while a clone pretended to be the DJ booth. "All right, let's go." Hana whistled, "Damn, that guy can sing." Yugo remarked, "He sure knows how to entertain a crowd." Kurenai concurred, "Yes, he does." Naruto was beaming. "The last song is dedicated to a special someone that I am here with." Anko was nudged by Hana, who said, "He is talking about you, Anko-chan." Anko thought, What is this feeling?" As Naruto suddenly descended to her and began to serenade her. "My heart is thumping. Is this the sensation of love?" Anko questioned herself. Then, as the applause and "ah" echoed around them, Naruto finished the song and kissed the back of her hand before throwing the microphone at the DJ and turning to the women, saying, "All right, ladies, how about we go get some dango?" The ladies foolishly left after Naruto's suggestion, and Anko was deep in contemplation as she pulled up to the dango stand. Dango stand. "Naruto, you wrote those songs with emotion. Why did you pick them?" Kurenai inquired. "The first song reflected my feelings in the years before I knew my name. Everyone detested me for some reason, and I had no idea why, so I felt alone and upset. The second one represented me now, being carefree and laid back. It set the mood to just party and let loose," Anko said, echoing Naruto's reasoning. The final song was for Anko-chan. "I'm fairly certain you are aware of the CRA and believed I was taking advantage of her due to her cuteness. She felt the same pain I did, so I accepted the date. She felt deceived when Orochimaru gave her that cursed seal after she had once loved him. She was initially rejected when she returned to Konoha and was later deceived by someone else." The kunoichi all stared at him, especially Anko, who had a distant expression in his cerulean eyes as he said, "I found 3 people who felt shunned and alone with the same look as me. Hinata was rejected due to her lack of confidence, Tenten-chan was made fun of for her skills, and Anko-chan for simply being a trainee of Konoha's most wanted pedophile. Since no one can see through her mask, I came to the realization that she will never find love. On the outside, there is that cruel, insane, but endearing snake lady, but tonight I discovered the true Anko. The kind, strong, and protective Anko, who was grinning and laughing at me as I sang to her. I sensed a connection with her, and I could see myself with her, if she would allow it, of course, with your blessing." The Jinchuriki half expected Anko, who was seated on the far side of the table, to leap up and slap Naruto because she thought he was playing her, but instead she placed her hands on his cheeks and gave him a gentle kiss. Kurenai grinned and said, "I agree." Kurenai's statement was met with earnest nods from Hana and Yugo. "Thank you, you are the first person who truly cares about my pain," Anko muttered. "In order to work out my feelings, I really want to get to know you better." Naruto turned to face the other women after saying, "I understand, Anko-chan. I am doing the same thing with Hinata and you, although I feel a connection with the both of you." "What?" Yugo asked. "Does my face have something on it?" "You 3 won't threaten me or anything," said Naruto. "No genjutsu, no castration, no dogs mauling me, nothing?" Hana responded. "We could tell that you are not that type of person, Naruto-kun." They all laughed at Naruto's antics, and the Jinchuriki sighed, saying, "Well, that is good. Now I have to tell the Hokage about my potential wives. Kick Neji. To me's ass, kick Orochi. To me's ass, find the devil arms. Then, geez, I am going to be busy for a while."
That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this great story. See you in the next one.